6976.
Ukrainian President Zelensky has arrived at NATO for meetings with alliance defense ministers, trying to drum up more support for Ukraine's fight against Russia.
The US is hosting a meeting of the Ukraine Contact Group to seek more weapons and ammunition for the war-ravaged country. NATO allies and partner countries will be waiting to hear precisely what kinds of military equipment Kyiv needs. The 31 allies and Ukraine will take part in the first NATO-Ukraine Council at this level. The forum was formally established in July as part of efforts to bring Kyiv closer to the alliance. It allows NATO and Kyiv to discuss issues of common interest and concern. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
Germany's government says it expects the country's economy to shrink 0.4% this year. The German government joined a string of other forecasters on Wednesday, revising downward its outlook for Europe's biggest economy. News and analysis, townhall.com. A South Carolina redistricting case set to go before the U.S. Supreme Court today could shape the fight for partisan control of the U.S. House.
Arguments before the High Court will focus on a coastal district that's held by Republican Representative Nancy Mace. A lower court ordered that the district be redrawn after concluding that Republicans, who control South Carolina's legislature, improperly moved Democratic-leaning black voters into another district to make the seat safer for Mace. Republicans hold a thin margin in the U.S. House, and Democrats could have a shot at picking up the South Carolina seat in 2024 if the district is redrawn. Donna Warder, Washington.
Salman Rushdie's written a memoir about the horrifying attempt on his life, left him blind in his right eye with a damaged left hand. Knife Meditations after an attempted murder, due to be published April 16th. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The demolition, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Yes, welcome to it. Hope your Wednesday's going amazingly well. Gonna be a little warmer today, I noticed. We're gonna hit like the 90s, 91, but just for today. And then we're back down in the 80s, and I think we're gonna hit 70s by like Friday. I think we got some wind going on tomorrow, but today we're gonna be in the 90s. So, last little reminder that you're in southeast New Mexico today. So, happy Wednesday, everybody.
You bearer of bad news. You just couldn't leave well enough alone, could you?
Yeah. But it's only 91, so it's not like 106.
Still, though.
And then we're back down to like the 80s tomorrow. So
I'm just so tired of sweating. I'm sick. I am sick of under-boob sweat. There, I said it. It gets real annoying when I'm trying to like sit and watch TV and I get the gathering of droplets. It's very annoying.
But it's wrestling night. That's all good.
No, that was last night.
That's right.
It got moved for baseball.
Oh, it did? So no wrestling tonight?
No, I watched. It was last night, but it's okay. It was enjoyable.
That's right, because AL was because TBS has NL, the NL playoffs.
Yeah,
and CBS or whoever ABC. Well, I can't remember who's showing Fox, I think, is showing the AL. And AL wrapped up last night with the Rangers sweeping the Orioles.
Yep.
So,
dang, sportsman. All right.
Tonight's the NL. So, yeah, that makes sense. Okay. But,
I just know Juice Robinson has a roll of quarters with MJF's name on him. That's what I know.
So did you watch the wrestling last night?
Of course.
Okay, good. I didn't know if you moved it or recorded it.
Do you think I'm some kind of scumbag that's not going to be there live to enjoy it?
I thought maybe like, no, I watch it on Wednesday. That's what I'm going to do.
I signed in to my bank's app more times yesterday than I ever have in my entire life because I needed to make sure my internet was on last night so that I could watch wrestling.
Ah.
Yeah.
But
thankfully things were put in place when they needed to be put in place, and I was able to contact and get everything paid. And yeah.
Suplexes happened
That's
as
right.
scheduled.
That's right.
Well, happy Wednesday, everybody. Don't forget, and the schedule's a little off kilter. Wrestling was yesterday. It's just a weird world.
Dogs made cats.
Tomorrow night,
That's
also,
right.
as well as high school football for Southeast New Mexico moves into district play, as Roswell and Artesia will square off Friday night at the Wool Bowl. But Goddard has to travel to Mayfield to start district play. That game will be tomorrow night in Mayfield. We're going to have an audio-only broadcast for you tomorrow night. You can listen to on the radio, 106.1 FM Fierro. We will have audio only at ksvptv.com. We're not able to send a video crew, and the Las Cruces people don't do video on Thursdays.
Right.
They do it on Fridays. So there's no video available, but we will have
And then you trim a
audio
salad
only.
on Saturdays. It's a very weird schedule.
So we will have audio only broadcast for you of the Goddard Mayfield matchup tomorrow, right on 106.1 FM Fierro and at ksvptv.com.
Which I would argue makes it even more exciting because it's theater of the mind.
Mm-hmm.
You get to see your football team do things they've never done before, jump to incredible heights, juke and jive like never before.
In your head.
In your head.
That's right. Well, that's how we did it. We are a radio station.
That's right. I love the idea of old time radio. Like I've done a couple of plays in the past where I got to be, and this was
Get to be the Foley.
the Foley guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Before I wanted to do radio, I wanted to be the Foley guy.
Yeah.
There was a guy that used to sit at a table in old time radio and just like make sound effects.
Mm-hmm.
That dude had that's the dream job for me.
Shoes and sand and, doing
It was
that whole thing.
like the container of like water so you could slosh through. There was the sand you could step through. There was a tiny door on the table. Then you have the thunder sheet.
Yeah, bells and whistles,
Oh, it's fun.
various ways, phones to ring, things like that.
If you hit a steak at just the right angle, you actually get the punch sound that they
Ooh.
use in all movies.
I
That
think,
like traditional punch sound.
I'm going to guess Rocky taught us that. Because he, how many people wanted to go to a butcher and punch sides of beef after the Rocky movie came out?
I'm amazed that you worked where you worked for as long as you did and didn't.
Who said I didn't?
Did you ever go toe to toe with the side of beef?
I was in rooms with hanging sides and hindquarters. You don't think I didn't punch them every once
you
in a while?
got to, right? Why is this flank steak got a bruise on it? Mind your business, that's why. Of course, once you drain it of all the blood, the bruising doesn't really happen anymore, right?
Yeah, it's and to be honest, we weren't like the slaughterhouse. Like what we were a meat market.
Yeah.
So the meat came in, and they would come in as full sides already. They weren't, and so we would trim and do what we needed, or I didn't, but the butchers did.
Sure.
But that being said, I used to have to move them around and haul them and give them to customers and stuff. But yeah, they used to hang in big coolers in the back. And of course, for a 16-year-old kid, what are you gonna do?
I just picture Mike just throwing a towel over his shoulder, open the door.
Come on, I mean, look, I did. That was that years of me working there. Let's see. Not only did we have the boxing Olympics with the meat, we had pallet jack races all the time.
Nice.
Those little the pallet jacks that you can you can move pallets with. They're local. Those make great scooters. If you don't, warehouse people know what I'm talking about. And
it's hard to get the momentum up, but once you get there,
well, it's because you can get them fast, but the turning mechanism.
It's a little bit.
It's not. It's either turns or doesn't, and then so you're going fast, and you could easily turn too sharp and end up flying into said side of beef. But oh yeah, we had all kinds of
not a lot of skid on pallet jacks.
Yeah, yeah, thawed chitlins. There's been all kinds of fun.
We just had in-trail fights.
I mean, around New Year's. Something that was very popular around where I lived, around New Year's, families would, the tradition, and I guess it's a soul food tradition, like in that, they used to buy hog heads.
Oh, yeah.
The head of a hog for New Year's, and that was kind of and you eat the ears.
That's how you get that hog jam.
There's a whole bunch to eat there, apparently. Wasn't my thing, but, so around New Year's every year, we had a bunch of, like, hog heads sitting on styrofoam trays wrapped in cellophane and sitting on shelves, and I mean, come on.
It's a good thing this was pre 9/11 because you'd be doing a couple of
this
hostage
is the 90s.
videos.
Yeah, this is the 90s. And,
I have your leader.
It was a meat room / liquor store. That was BK Miller's.
Nice.
They were a distributor. But they were big. Like they would do sodas delivered to warehouses and stores and soda people, and so they were a bigger company, but they had a grocery / liquor store in downtown Clinton that you go buy liquor in the front and beef and butchery stuff in the back.
Liquor in the front, beef in the back.
And I worked in the meat room side. So I was back. I worked the deli. I helped the butchers and ground beef and did all that stuff for about 4 years. When
I just see Mike taking his gloves off, wiping the sweat off his brow, and taking a drink out of a small container of Donald Duck orange juice because that's all that was available to him at the time.
Well, they had sodas.
Yeah. The Donald Duck orange juice, the best mixer.
So many 8-ounce cans of things.
I always wonder, if they, if the fancier mimosas, like when you go to a brunch place, if they just have a bunch of those little containers of Donald Duck orange juice in the back.
God, hope so.
For your bottomless mimosas.
Oh, I hope so.
Because let's face it, Tropicana's fine, but Donald Duck orange juice really does make the best mimosa.
Well, sure.
Absolutely.
I mean, what kid doesn't want a orange juice with a big old smiling Donald Duck?
That's right. Still to this day, I don't know who makes that orange juice.
I've only seen them in liquor stores. I've never seen them.
I have seen them in a store.
Legit stores.
I have seen them in a store.
I've only seen Donald Duck orange juice in a liquor store.
But it's that's the only Disney character that ever broke bad, essentially.
Yeah, where's my goofy cranberry juice?
Right. You never see Mickey Mouse mixers,
Right.
Mickey Mouse margarita mixers.
I'm just telling you, the Pluto screwdriver. Why
not? His name is Goofy. It's right there. It's gonna get you goofy. I mean, let's go Goofy juice. What's wrong with that?
What was the decision on that? Is because Pluto we can agree is a dog.
Mm-hmm.
What does that make Goofy?
It's okay. I have a theory, but I don't like my theory.
Okay.
So Goofy is regular, and he's an average human or dog hybrid. I think that Pluto might be mentally handicapped.
Oh, okay.
But that opens up a whole new realm of messed upness. Why are you making mentally handicapped people your pets?
Yeah. I don't know.
What's going on in your universe?
I just never understood that because Goofy I thought was a dog. I'm like, well, how come Pluto can't talk or acts like a dog? Then Goofy, he's an Olympian. He's Goofy on sports. I mean, there's a whole Goofy on series of movies that show him doing various things.
If you actually pay attention to like Disney canon, Pluto, kind of a smart dog. Pulls off something on occasion saves the day.
Like a Snoopy.
Yeah, kind of like a Snoopy. Can save the day if need be. So
yeah, I just that Disney's that world you guys messed me up in. You can't have some dogs that talk and some dogs that don't.
Okay, so my argument it would be then that Pluto is Lightning Jack. He's just a mute.
Well, then someone tried to tell me that Goofy's not a dog. Goofy's something else, but I don't remember what it was. I don't remember. Someone tried to have that debate with me, and I don't remember what that was. But I was like, well, what?
It gets even more twisted when you watch a Goofy movie or get into that whole universe. Because all the creatures can talk. They have cats. They have wombats in that movie that can talk. But Pluto
and everybody's Goofy.
And everybody's Goofy.
And then you're like, which one's the goofy? Because if there's 7 goofies.
It's the same. Okay, it's kind of the same thing when I watch Bluey. Mm-hmm. Because how come your last name gets to be Healer and you're Blue Healers? Like you're the only Blue Healers on the planet?
Yeah.
That doesn't seem right. That doesn't seem fair. You get to be Healer?
It's kind of messed up.
It is, right?
Peel back these layers of that
the
onion.
Cartoon curtain.
And there it is.
This is why I stay under. I stay naive.
All right, let me give you the rundown for today's. All right, very good. Thank you. Our first guests are está aquí.
Sí.
Español. Let me give you the rundown for today's show. Here in just a few minutes, we're going to be joined by a pair of the ladies from the Chaves County Federated Republican Women. Janine Best and Margaret Kennert will join us. 1 week from today is their next Chaves County Federated Republican Women meeting, which we'd love to invite you to. So we'll talk about that and get an update from the ladies on what's going on through the Federated Republican Women. In the 8 o'clock hour, 8:15, Brian Luck, RASD Superintendent, will join us, give us an update on last school board meeting and all update just on what's going on around the school district. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, about 9:15, Nicole Dean with Tobosa Developmental Services will join us, give us an update on what they've got going on over at Tobosa.
Very good.
Of course, they do, if you're not familiar, they really have a whole bevy of services, you know, from helping families with young, like up to 3 years old, helping families with medical stuff for their children, like, you know, learning disability spectrum, dyslexia, all those stuff they discover, like from newborn to 3 years old now. They help families free of charge to go through that stuff. They also all have their, and that's through their Los Pasitos side.
Yes.
They also are helping adults with mental health, job coaching, life skills, live-in assistance, things like that. And then the other side is daycare. They do for just families that need daycare for their children.
Yep.
That's the other side of the Tobosa side. So there's many different angles to Tobosa. So we'll get the update from Nicole here in a bit for the 9 o'clock hour.
I've told the story several times, but I attribute Rhiannon's success ultimately to this day to Los Pasitos. Had we not had that full year of early intervention and in-home training where it was just, you know, simple games for her, rope counting, stacking, things like that, but it made just an entire world of difference for her.
Yeah, they do really well with helping these kids get prepared for when they are of school age. They can now either their issue is resolved or they're able to manage and find a way to cope with those things.
Our whole life has been preparing Rhiannon for the next step, and that was sort of like the first next step that we were able to prepare her for.
Yeah.
And it's made, like I said, a world of difference.
And it creates that foundation because that's the first time, the foundation, and so, you know, they're there for that part, so it's all growth from there. So, yeah, good stuff. But Nicole will join us about 9:15.
Very good.
So, it is 7:21. Let's get you up to date on the weather. No rain. Just, I don't know, the weather. It's the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Pretty warm over the next few days, but we'll be cooling off quite a bit by Friday. Near 90 for the afternoon high today. Wind will be gusty, and we get lots of sunshine. Low 60s for the overnight hours and clear, and then we're in the upper 80s for the high on Thursday. High pressure will stay put. It will be a little bit windy, and we'll have plenty of sunshine. Dry cold front moves in on Thursday night, sunny and mid-70s Friday. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, 55 degrees. I love that. That's the happiest part of fall. I start the day and end the day, and it's not in the 60s. 55 here in Roswell. Humidity is at 62%. Winds are out of the northwest at 5 miles per hour. That being said, today's our hot day. 91 and sunny. Winds will be a tad breezy out of the southwest, 5 to 10 miles per hour this morning, 15 to 20 for this afternoon. Tonight, clear skies with an overnight low of 58 degrees, southwest winds 10 to 20 miles per hour. Thursday, back down into the 80s, sunny and 88 with southwest winds, 5 to 10 early, getting a little breezy, 15 to 20 for tomorrow afternoon. Clear tomorrow night with an overnight low of 49 degrees. And then Friday, we're back down into the 70s. Sunny and 76 Friday. Winds out of the northwest, 5 to 10. Sunny and 75 for your Saturday, and then sunny, highs back near 80 on Sunday. All right, it is 7:23. We're going to take a 3-minute break, and then we will talk to the ladies from the Chaves County Federated Republican Women on the other side. Don't go away. We'll be back. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
At Richland Motors, it's never been easier to sell or trade your current car, truck, or SUV for a newer model to hit the road in. Even if you don't purchase from Richland, they want to buy your vehicle for top dollar. But if you do buy from Richland, don't forget, they're the home of the powertrain warranty for life. That's a whole lot of confidence for you. See Richland for details, 2nd and Sycamore, and 1309 Southeast Main.
Sure, you can inspect your own roof, get out that rickety ladder, crawl around up there and try to spot the problem until... Or you could call the experts at Do Right Roofing. Do Right Roofing has quality products for any type of roof. They can even install seamless gutters. Do Right Roofing will inspect your roof and give you a free estimate fast. Keep your feet on the ground. Call Do Right Roofing today.
575-623-2273. Let Do Right do your roof right.
Find them fast in names and numbers.
Of all the flowers in the world, pansies get a bad rap. Hi, this is Jim Gill with Roswell Seed Company. The name pansies sound delicate and weak, but in reality, pansies are bold and beautiful. When the frost has killed all the other flowers, pansies start blooming and they'll bloom all winter long, which is why you should come see us at Roswell Seed. We have a greenhouse full of colorful pansies ready to brighten up the coldest winter day. So come get your pansies, and remember, if someone calls you a pansy, take it as a compliment.
Asian Market brings the flavors of the East to Roswell. The market side has lots of new and different items, including new sauces and noodles to enhance your Asian dishes, plus new snacks and more. And the restaurant inside Asian Market has all Nook's favorites from 11 to 5, like wontons, egg drop, rice or noodle soup, crispy calamari, and the best barbecue fried rice in town. Dine in or call ahead for easy pickup. And find Asian Market on Facebook for updates on open times and specials.
Hi, this is Nok. Come see me at Asian Market, 5702 South Main in Roswell. Call 575-840-5309.
From morning runs to playing with grandkids, taking part in activities brings great joy to our lives, but it can also come with injuries. And for those in physically demanding jobs, the daily grind can wear on muscles, bones, and joints and lead to acute and long-term disorders. If you're suffering from an orthopedic injury, let our Artesia General Hospital specialists help. The sooner you address the root cause, the sooner you'll be back to living life in motion. Learn more at artesiageneral.com/orthopedics.
After a week off, it's back to business for your Roswell Coyotes. And coming up this Friday night, your Coyotes are back home at the Wool Bowl, taking on the Bulldogs of Artesia High. 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM and KSVPTV.com have got you covered. Join Art Sandoval and Kelly McDonald for the pregame show beginning at 6:45 and kickoff at 7. Coyotes versus the Bulldogs of Artesia High. Friday night beginning at 6:45 on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM and online at KSVPTV.com. Southeastern New Mexico's sports authority, then, now, and always.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Sigmund Freud once believed that cocaine could be used to help treat a morphine addiction. Mike used bacon to get over his addiction to beef. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 26 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us now officially in studio from the Chaves County Federated Republican Women, Janine Best and Margaret Kinnert back with us. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
How is life? Well, let's put you in front of the microphone so you at least, you know. No. I know you're not lead, but, you know, she's like, Margaret, you're in charge. I'm just going to sit here and make jokes.
I won't even do that.
But at least got to put the mic in.
There we go.
For folks not familiar, the Chaves County Federated Republican Women, I think a lot of that you can figure out in the title there. But
yes.
But they're a civic organization, a nonprofit civic organization that kind of serves twofold. One is to educate and support the Republican Party and educate the public about the candidates and the policies and all the things that the Republican Party is doing. That's one side of it. The other side is the grassroots community outreach, where they work with youth and various other nonprofit organizations and help them do various local needs and things, you know, particularly scholarships and stuff with kids. But you get involved with a lot of other organizations and help them to support their missions too. So education and really just just helping the community. That's kind of what they do. Now, that being said, every Wednesday, the third Wednesday of the month, we would love to invite everyone for the monthly Chaves County Federated Republican Women's meeting. It'll be it's that third Wednesday of the month. They always pick different topics to discuss. Since we're right around municipal election time, a lot of the meetings lately focus on meeting all the municipal candidates and learning about the issues for the election and things here. But come and have lunch and come and learn, and you get to come early and talk with the candidates and the various speakers, and then you can hang out afterwards if you want. But you guys do a whole thing where come for lunch about 11:30 or so, get in there, eat, and then have a presentation, and then we'll try to get you out the door by 1 to get you back to lunch or back to work. And
Why
all
are
that.
we even here?
Yeah, that's kind of it.
He knows it.
Because you got to fill in the rest of the details. You got to tell me all the important things like what we're eating, what we're...
We don't even know. It's Halloween. It's Halloween.
It's a mystery.
It's a mystery lunch this month. So, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to tell you who's coming.
All right.
And I have to read this off the paper because there's just so many people. This is going to be jam-packed.
Packed. Full,
luncheon.
Get there early. Bring your
Yes.
lunch pail. Well, now we got the lunch pail.
Yes,
but everything
we
else
got the lunch covered. Just, but we do need you to RSVP, and we'll talk about that here in a minute. But so we're gonna have Cindy Runyon from Better Together New Mexico.
Okay.
She'll discuss the importance of working together towards our conservative goals and the progress we've made working together. We're also going to have the Republican candidates for the municipal judge,
All right.
Honorable Joe Seski, and then we're going to have James Daniel Ornelas, the other candidate.
Mm-hmm.
We are also going to have the Republican candidates for the RISD school board positions. Ward 2 is Jared Ashby and Roberto Chavez, and Ward 4 candidates are Andrew Graves and Sergio Jimenez.
All right.
And all of the candidates were asked to include their speech, why they're running, what their qualifications are for the positions, and what they hope to accomplish.
Good deal. So basically saying why I'm doing this and why you should vote for me.
Yes.
and these are great opportunities. I want to tell everyone, if you are able, please try to come to these events. The municipal election that's coming up here, that early voting is already underway, and the actual election day will be a couple weeks away, actually.
Mm-hmm.
We're pretty quick up on it here. I say this every time, and I'm going to say it again today. I never, when people say, who do you vote for, whatever, I don't care who you voted for, as long as you can tell me why you voted for them, and it's not stupid things like, well, I see their signs a lot, or I went to school with their cousin's sister's brother's nephew. I don't want to hear all that. I want to be, I like this person because they believe in this, this, and this. Then I'm okay with you. But if you don't know what this, and this until you inform and educate yourself, how do you do that? Come eat lunch with the Chaves County Federated Republican and listen to what these people have to say. Go back to our KSVPTV.com. Check out the Leadership Roswell Alumni Association candidate forum we had a couple weeks ago. It's about 2 hours of nothing but information for you about all of our candidates. I know also on there, the Many Hands organization had a little candidate forum that kind of addressed more of the homeless side. We have that video up there you can go back and watch, too. It's all there for you. So if you early vote here leading up or actually on Election Day here in November, when you go to your polling location and you go to put your little dark check in the boxes here, you're voting for the names that you truly believe will do the job that you want them to do.
Yeah.
And that's how you do. You educate yourself. Get the newspaper. When they do their spotlights and profiles on our candidates, read all of that. When I get our interviews going here, please listen to all this stuff. Come out and listen to what the judges and the school board candidates have to say here next week. The more you talk to them, the more you learn about them. And the cool part is you guys can, at your event, you can come and, be a few minutes before. It's like, hey, you want to meet one of the school board people? Say, hey, I read your stuff online. I kind of got a couple questions to ask you.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's the chance.
Well, and that's the, I feel like, I've been coming on here for a few years with the Republican women and also with Leadership Roswell.
Yeah.
And, but, I've gone door to door for several candidates, Janine as well. And it's just baffling to me that, and I know people are busy with their lives and things going on. And, this is not as important to everybody as, But I mean, it's,
but they don't realize it is as important.
Yeah,
That's it. More important.
It's more important.
Like we get all mad about what's going on Fox News or CNN, and I'm not saying that's not important, but you want to what impacts what you're doing on a day-to-day basis. The people you're voting for in this upcoming municipal election, your city council, your school board, your judges. When the county commission elections, those positions are the positions that impact your day-to-day life, and you're going to want to care about them, because when your street thing ain't working or whatever's not working, you ain't complaining to President Biden. You're complaining to your city council.
Well, and what I was going to say is that it's just mind-boggling to me sometimes. There's ads on the radio, ads on the TV, in the paper, and there's signs out, and people still don't know there's an election going on. And
I know that.
There's so many opportunities.
You're trying hard not to know at that point.
And then there's, the opportunities that Leadership Roswell Alumni has done, what we do at the Republican Women Monthly. So this is your opportunity. I know that Janine tries to live stream our meetings sometimes when she's able to do that. So, I mean, just come. If you can't come, maybe you can catch us online. But just like you said, the Leadership Roswell Alumni Association does their best. I mean, how many candidate forums has Leadership Roswell Alumni? Like over...
More than I know.
Yeah.
It's
40.
I'm going to guess.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
As long as Rick's been there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
I've been
so-
involved in a bunch of them.
Yeah.
And probably a bunch more.
So if you're available this next Wednesday, come and have lunch with us.
Yeah, the food's
And-
great.
Yeah.
The staff at the convention center put on a great spread,
They
even
do.
if they're not going to tell us what it is this time.
Yeah, the secret. It's an extravaganza of finger foods.
All right. I hope it's not actual fingers. It is Halloween.
It may be. It may be. It may be.
But they do a great job every month, whether it's Mexican food or salads,
Correct.
or if they get a little heavier into the holidays, they'll probably get a little big, heavier, heartier meals. But during the summer they like to lighter foods. you know, to go with the season.
Correct.
But
and it's definitely with the season this month.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But they do a great job with the food.
They do.
Now and this really mostly for the food and all that. Please RSVP. There's really several easy ways to do it. The Chaves County Federated Republican Women have a Facebook page. So if you're a Facebook frequenter, you can just go to that page, shoot a message, and Margaret or Janine or one of the other ladies will get your RSVP there and get you in. They can call you too, right, Margaret? Or if you like to talk with live people.
I don't know if that's... I mean, you can.
Right.
But
if you know Margaret, you can get a hold of her. But
Or
probably
Janine,
the easiest is the Facebook.
Or we have an email, and it's rsvpccfrw@gmail.com.
Okay.
And so that comes directly to me, and it helps me compile the list so that I can give it to Janine, and Janine turns it
Make it the
into
official.
the convention center.
Good deal. What's kind of your absolute drop dead deadline you like to get your RSVPs by? How many days
We
out?
need it, by Friday?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this
So
Friday.
Friday the week before.
Yeah.
So by this Friday, please shoot a message either through Facebook or through the email.
Correct.
And get it. Now, if you have space and it's Monday morning, you're like, oh, I want to go.
Still call.
Still call. They'll try
Or
to work.
just show up.
Yeah, or just show up. Maybe if there's probably going to be plenty of food, but if you're not hungry, and that's the other thing. If you don't want food, you're not hungry, you can come.
Yeah.
But you don't have to eat. We're not going to force you to eat. But if you'd like to, it is the lunch hour, so enjoy it.
$16.
Yes,
and
for the
you
meal.
get tea and water and a dessert.
A complete meal.
Yeah, it is.
And
a full meal.
$16 for lunch is cheap now.
Well,
with an education, with information.
I wish everybody felt that way, but actually,
Have you gone to any restaurant in
Yeah.
town to get anything, including fast food?
You can't do
You're
it.
dropping $20.
yeah. Well, what I was going to say is up in Santa Fe for the Republican women meeting, they're
30.
paying $50 in some areas,
Mhm.
30
in other areas.
Yeah, I loved the fair, but man, you had to get a second job to eat at some of them
Yes.
places.
Well, even my kids were like, "Oh my gosh, a bottle of water is $4," and I'm like,
so
okay,
$16 for
there
lunch
you
is
go.
a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's the world we live in now. See, you unhappy about this? Pay attention and vote. Dang it! This is why. That one, pay attention to the bigger election. They have more impact than the people you're going to meet on Wednesday on that one. But this is what we're talking about. You live in a world where, or especially, and unfortunately, younger folks have it harder than us older folks in this one, because, and I think it's the modern time. There's so much easier ways to spread misinformation now than there was 30 years ago.
Well, there was more trust 30 years ago.
Exactly.
Now we're always wondering, what side of the coin are you on?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So now more than ever, you have to be on your P's and Q's about this stuff. Just because someone tells you something doesn't mean it's true. You got to trust the source. You got to do your own secondary research on some of this stuff. If someone tells you something, even if it's someone you say, well, they always tell me, okay, I believe, but confirm. This is the world we live in. So please, this is, it's tough, but it's the only way to do this right. If you want to make sure that you and your family have the best opportunities available, you got to do your homework. You got to go and research and support the people that value the same things that you do, and be educated about it, and know the difference between what's legit versus people just spinning garbage at you. And unfortunately, there's so much garbage being spun that it's starting to mix into the good stuff. And I mean, that's not new. That's been happening for a while, but we live in a world where it's easy to be confused. So please put your head on a swivel.
Correct.
Listen, read, consider every source that you do on stuff. So when you do go vote, that's your powerful.
But don't get discouraged.
Exactly. But and your vote is your weapon. I don't care what anybody says, and you hear all this stuff about people voting, and I'm going to sit this one out because I don't like it. No, voting is the one tool that you have to tell people you don't like what they're doing or you like what they're doing. That's how you do it. And don't listen to people that tell you you're wasting your vote by voting for someone X. If they line up with what you believe in, you're not wasting your vote. You're voting for the person you truly believe.
Correct.
People will tell you and play the games and all of that stuff. It's like, well, you're not going to help this and that. And it's like, no, I voted for who I believe could do the job. Do that. And if more of us do that,
I also feel you can't complain unless you voted.
Yeah.
That's my big deal. If you didn't vote, you just need to sit back and take the ride.
And I think if all of us did that and did truly voted to the way they believe and do it, we'd have real honest and fair elections. I really do believe it's when other people start trying to manipulate and tell you exactly what's going on. And we got enough of that in this world.
Exactly.
Go for the source. Come to events like the Chaves County Federated Republic. Hear it. The candidates' mouths will be speaking. You're getting it literally right out the horse's mouth at this thing here. This is do your own research, do your own investigation when it comes to deciding on the people that you want to vote for this upcoming election. Use all the tools at your disposal to find that out. If you want to get more involved with the Chaves County Federated Republican Women, maybe you see some candidates in this thing and you're like, you know what, I want to back them up and, bigger, or once we get to primary season and some of that, which will be right around the corner after all this, if you start getting involved and want to see candidate stuff, the Chaves County Federated Republican can help you with all of that stuff. If you want to be a volunteer and serve on,
we always need help, and
you don't have to be a woman either. That's the other slight misnomer there.
Yes,
you don't have to.
We have. This is a good time to tell you what we have. We have 100. We closed our membership for 2023 on September 30th with 151 members and 38 associates. So 38 associates. Those are our male members.
Those are the non-female members.
Well, there's babies in there. There's under 18.
Okay, so a few female babies.
Yeah.
Yes. And so, but anyway, we're always we know we live in a conservative area. And so 151 members doesn't even scratch the surface of how many people are out there.
We should have stronger numbers. Yeah, we should have
and how many
numbers.
people can get involved. And, we have several different chair positions, Caring for America, Americanism. We have a chaplain. We have literacy.
So it's kind of different
scholarships.
Departments within the Chaves County.
And Jones probably told you, every year we take dictionaries down to the Valley schools. And so there's all these other things that we do.
Yeah, it's a civic organization.
Right.
first and foremost,
And so we
it does
need
a lot of
as
charity
many volunteers as we can get. Because as you know, when you're involved in something, it's generally like the 1% of the membership that actually helps.
And this is a statement I've said. There's probably 100 to 200 people that do everything in this town. You know what I mean? Like there's a certain and you go to every civic organization or everything in town, and there's one of the, just a few of those 200 people that are involved in everything. You go to the Kiwanis meeting, there they are. You go to the Chaves County Radio, here they are. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's this community, and we would love to have a few more of the 100 to 200 people.
And we're not asking
involved.
for a lot of their time. The dictionaries is one time a year.
Yeah.
The scholarships one time a year, maybe 2 or 3 weeks out of that year. So it's not a constant.
A big ask.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to devote more time, we'll find it.
Oh, yeah.
But we're just asking, it's many hands is what we do. If we can get as many people doing one thing, then a lot of things get done. And that's kind of what we do. So more volunteers and kind of get to what I think your point is here a little bit is you live in a state of New Mexico where it is, one could argue, one of the most liberal states in the entire United States of America. I mean, we'll have that argument all day. But there's a couple areas where there is kind of a conservative bastion or area that's still, and we live in one of them. And if you want to see more conservative values and continue that way of life, you can't sit on the sidelines and just watch it go by. You're going to have to actively get involved. And how do you do that? Getting involved in organizations like this, getting involved in candidates that you believe and support the same things that you do. Getting involved in other civic organizations. Make your community better. Pick your passion. I don't care what it is. I don't care if you're into kids and coaching or if you rather do get involved in more nitty-gritty, dirtier, grimier stuff like homeless and helping out in domestic violence. Whatever your passion is, get involved with it in your community. That's how we make our community better. By you going into that area, going into that polling location when election time, making decisions that you believe are the right ones, and then getting involved in your community. Go out and I'm not asking you to be dumb like some of us that get involved in 37 organizations. Pick one and get involved with it and support it. And you'll find that your life will get better. You'll tend to find out there's a lot of other good things going on, and it just kind of opens the door for other stuff.
So I would like to make a call to the community for November.
Okay.
We have a veterans luncheon, and it's free to the vets. Their spouse has to pay, but their vets can come in.
Okay.
And it's free to the vets. And it's the same third Wednesday of every month.
Okay. And of course, November, Veterans Day that month, so it's kind of a month that we
we're going to feature a missing man table.
Okay.
And we're going to have a speaker from the Institute, and the cadets are going to do the color guard.
Oh, nice.
So it's going to be a very wonderful presentation. Yeah. But I need veterans to come.
We need the vets
I
to
had
come
a hard
have a
time
meal.
last year getting free food out to the veterans. I don't know why anybody would give away free food.
Veterans are a different group. Sometimes.
Yeah.
It's same thing like when the high schools have their veterans and the various schools have their veterans. You kind of got to nudge us.
They don't need to be in uniform or anything. They just need to come up and smile at us. I mean,
veterans, I will tell you this. I get it. You don't like me. You just want to do your thing and move on with your life. But
we just want to feed you.
Veterans, this is something I need. You need. This is part of your, I would like to say, responsibilities as a veteran. And what I mean by this is, and this is the easy part, we need to teach the next generation why the importance of the role of the veteran in our society is. Mm-hmm. And so when you go to these high school events, when you go to these other events and you come and let people thank you, I know it sounds weird, you're actually showing the next generation why you're important, why
serving is important.
Why serving is important. Why all of our freedoms and the things that we enjoy are tied to veterans. It's important for that. So I get it. You're like, I did my service. I just want to kind of be left alone. And veterans get like that. We kind of do sometimes. But we would love for you to get involved and serve this way, because hopefully your presence at these events inspires a young person to say, you know what, I want to pick up that mantle when it's my time to do that.
Correct.
Because we're going to need that. Look at the news. We need more people getting involved because the world ain't getting better.
Correct.
And we're going to need that next generation to do what you did to preserve this country.
And this is to honor them
Yep.
for what they did.
Yep.
You know, and even the young ones that are still serving that happen to be home at the time.
Absolutely.
You know, come on down and free meal, and you're going to get just honored.
Yeah, we just want to
It's
celebrate
that simple,
you and
just
thank you.
honored.
And I get it. You're kind of like, I don't know, but just it's to be honest, it's important. It's important. If not for you, it's important. And sure, I know you veterans are little soup sandwiches too. We all are. All we get our own hang-ups, our own thing. You've seen and done things in the military that
But
you just
you know what?
civilians
You may
don't get
come.
sometimes.
You may come to our lunch and
Yeah.
decide that you like it and come to the next one.
Yeah, but I think,
mean,
and that's what I think it is.
yeah.
It's just military people are a different breed. I don't know if you guys have experience with that. It's just sometimes, it's and part of it's just life in the military because you see, and depends on what you did and what I do want to share a story on the radio, but now's not the time to do it.
Okay,
it's a dark story, but it's the kind of stuff that people in the military deal with, and if civilians knew it, you just understand.
Well, and it leans on another important point about military suicide and veteran suicide, and
they're about to up that number to 23, I think.
Yeah,
there were 22 veterans a day right now, and sadly that number's not going down; it's going up. And I mean, that's just that's one tip of one thing with veterans and stuff, but we want to. And please, veterans, if you're needing help on that stuff, reach out. And if you come out to this event and you're need to talk to someone, there will be someone in that room can help you.
Definitely. Just come and
Yeah.
sit and enjoy the company.
Come and enjoy. The food's going to be great. It's going to be, like I said, you're going to be treated like a rock star.
Yeah.
If any, and I know the high schools do the same thing around November and Veterans Day, and I'm not trying to brag on one or the other, but every year when Goddard does theirs, it's literally a rock concert. It's an amazing job that they do.
Well, I think that's probably one of my favorite luncheons that we do, because we've been doing this every year to honor veterans, and it touches my heart to see all of these people that at a young age decided to go and serve in this capacity. When most people that age don't even really know what they're doing.
Sure.
And maybe people that do enlist, they don't know either, but it ends up being such a great benefit to all of us. But for me, it's one of my favorite luncheons that we do. And to actually see these people that live in our community that we don't normally see on a regular basis, or maybe do.
Or do not realize they were veterans.
Who they are. Right. And
you know them from a whole other world.
Right.
And then you're like, I got another life.
Yeah. So it's nice.
Yeah.
It's really nice to have that opportunity to get to meet these people.
But I know veterans, they don't generally like to share those experiences all the time with the public unless you get it. But at least come out, let the public see you, let them celebrate. I know it's bad.
Let them thank you.
Yeah. And please understand, because the what you did is above and beyond. And I don't care if you signed your name up to join the United States military, Coast Guard, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Army, whatever, don't matter. And I don't even care. What was your job? I cooked. I was CE. I fixed air conditioning. You know what? That's all part of the mission. None of that happens. The person in the trench doing the fighting can't do the thing without the cook doing the thing. And the guy flying the plane to blow up the thing can't do the thing without the guy that fixed the plane to do the thing. All of that is part of that role. And guess what? You do those things in sometimes places that aren't nice. That's so regardless of your role, if you served honorably, you did your thing in the military for 2 years, 4 years, or 20 years, love to have you come out and be a part of this. You made a choice in your life to give up your freedoms to serve this country.
And come and see the garrison flag we're going to have up.
Oh, that thing's amazing, and it's huge. Only time you generally usually see it's during parades.
This one will be up inside at the convention center
for
us.
That's going to eat up like a third of the convention center.
It is. It's humongous.
Don't get any food on it, please. That thing's got some work to do. But that'll be the November.
That's November.
And of course, you guys will be back
right
to remind
after
everybody.
Voting,
Yes.
November 7th.
After you get your voting done, we can celebrate with veterans.
There we go.
You did your duty, and come do that. But that'll be the November meeting. But before that, next Wednesday will be the October meeting. Come and meet the candidates for municipal judge as well as school board for the Republican side here. Also, hear our guest speaker about
Cindy Runyon.
Yes.
Better Together, New Mexico.
Better Together. That's what I was trying to remember. She'll be on deck first, and then our candidates afterwards.
Kind of piggyback on what we were talking about with the military. We are signing 500 Christmas cards to send to our military in Fort Benning, Georgia.
Okay,
so that's another project that we're.
So next week, if you come to the luncheon,
Yes.
you can sign some cards and maybe collect a few to give to your family to
Correct.
sign as well. And put it this way: reach out to any Federated Republican Women member, and they'll get you some cards.
We have lots. We've collected the cards, so we have a lot of them for you to sign.
Good deal. Hey, just gee whiz curious. I know this is not technically you guys, but I'm just curious. With the fair last week, I'm sure you both kind of popped in and checked out the Republican Party booth. How did things go there? Did they get a lot of people registering to vote and stuff during the week? Have you heard?
So we work with the Republican Party
Mhm.
to man that booth.
Yeah.
So the Republican Party of Chavez County is the one that actually secures the booth.
Gotcha.
And,
well, I knew you guys were adjacent. That's why I was just
fills it up.
curious.
But
see if they got a
our
lot of
members
sign-ups.
typically are the ones that work the booth alongside the candidates.
Provide the resources
Yeah,
for
and
people who have
so,
questions and stuff.
It's really hard for me anymore to get down there during the evenings because my boys are in football.
She's a mommy.
and I'm a new mom again. But
And how many kids do you have again? You've got
we
a
have
lot
7.
of kids. Yeah, you are
The
a busy
youngest is
lady.
2. And
she's building an army of her own.
She'll be well protected.
She's already up to like a soccer team almost.
So I didn't get out there
Gotcha.
during the week to work the booth, but I heard it was
Good deal. I'm just
booming,
curious to see if
so,
they get a new people registering to vote and all that. Cause that's,
every time there are just people that come and register, and so I mean I feel like
I'm hoping the times are causing people to
Correct.
step up and sign up to do this and do their
Or switch
duty.
their party.
Or switch over because they're tired of what they're hearing on the other side. That's
one could hope.
Yeah, it's
I mean, that's what we're doing, right? That's why
the job.
we do what we're doing is
Sure.
trying to build up and encourage. And I say this, and it's unfortunate. And so this is my plea to listeners:
Mhm.
if you're young, come get involved. I know you're busy. I know because I'm living this right now. But
she's got 7 kids in doing this. If she can do it, you can do it.
you can try and come to a luncheon. We do have after hours things on occasion.
Yeah.
But we really would like to appeal to the younger people.
Absolutely.
And I'm not even young. I'm 44, but
Kind of young to me.
but you know what I mean.
But you need the next generation. You need the 20-somethings in here getting involved.
If you even need to learn how to vote,
Mhm.
we'll be glad to teach you.
Sure.
And make you understand and let you understand what voting is about.
Sure.
Because it's not taught in the household anymore.
No.
It's not taught where it needs to be taught anymore.
Sure.
It's
You're right.
just totally ignored. And that's part of the problem in this
I hope people do like when I was a kid. Like I remember my parents taking me in there to vote with them, like before I was too old or too young to do it myself. And this was back in the day when you went in the curtain and you had the little knobs and switches to turn. And so that was like
they probably enjoyed it more. Now it's more like a SAT test.
Yeah, it's not as fun or sexy,
Yeah.
but not as many bells and whistles. But that was like my friends, they went with their kids to go do, their parents to do this kind of stuff. I hope families are still doing that kind of thing because that's important. This is how you teach your kids.
Very important.
Take them along to these events when you go to vote and all that. Please experience that with your kids. So, because when they're, you're raising to be adults, at some point, they're little means doing it. Then you can vote as a parent-child combo when they're 18 and all that and do it together. But please get your kids and show them what you're doing there and show, and I understand if you're watching debates and things and you get a little of that, monitor your kids accordingly on that kind of stuff. But please do expose them to some of this stuff. To
And
at least
we
educate them.
don't have any policy against bringing your children to the meetings. I've done it before.
Sure.
I know other members have.
Yeah.
So you're welcome to bring children if if you don't have anyone to keep them.
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll figure out childcare and all that. If you have a desire to be a part of it, we'll work the rest out. That we'll figure out. But come out next Wednesday. Come if you want to get more involved. Talk to either one of these two ladies or any of the Chavez County. It'll be easy to spot when you see them walking around. Just talk to them. Excuse me, and they'll be happy to get you more information and get you involved and do this. But folks, if you want a better community, there's only one person going to change it. Is you.
Yep.
Get out there and do something about it. Get involved. Come to meetings like this. Go to city council. Go to commission meetings. These are open to the public meetings for a reason. Be in the public watching these things. So when you do, come to these city council meetings. Hear what your counselors are talking about. Hear what they're saying, and please, take note. And if it's stuff you agree with and you support it, and if it's not, then you do something about it to change it.
Exactly.
That's what you do. Did I get it all? I was
I think so. Keep rocking.
Man, I had a soapbox and a half today, boys. I can't believe it. But thank you guys. I appreciate it. We'll see you next time. If we need more time, or if we want to get a few extra, maybe one extra one here to remind veterans to come see us next month in November, we'll get all that going here. Okay. Let's do that. So, thank you, ladies.
Thank you, Mike.
Back to taking care of kids. I'm sure there's 2 or 3 ready for you that need your assistance at the moment. All right, it is 7:59. Let's do this. Let's take a quick break before we get you into news. Don't go away.
Oasis Computers has been Roswell's trusted source for home and small business computers for over 30 years, and they continue to be your best resource for computer repairs, operating system upgrades, web root managed, antivirus, special orders, and more. Oasis Computers is now open from 8 to 1, Monday through Friday to better serve you. Service calls by appointments and after-hour appointments are available too. Stop by Oasis Computers at 1703 North Garden or call or text 575-625-9141 for even faster service.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The Goodyear Rubber Company researched and concluded that...
I'm Rich Thomason. They are coming together in Israel. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and opposition leader Benny Gantz have agreed to form an emergency unity government as well as a war cabinet. Israel carrying out intense bombardment of the Hamas stronghold of Gaza City. The BBC's Rushdie Abu Alouf is in Gaza, says the devastation is everywhere.
Very quickly you can see the scale of destruction in this neighborhood. It's called Rimal neighborhood. It's the economic hub for Gaza that has been completely targeted. Many buildings were destroyed. Behind me is the 11-story building that was knocked down 2 days ago. Israel said they have carried out 200 airstrikes targeting the Hamas infrastructure. In fact, they hit many buildings, government buildings belong to the Hamas-run authority, but the civilian homes were completely affected and some of them were completely destroyed.
This is Israel's response to Saturday's brutal terrorist attack, and terrorist rockets continue to target Israel. While leaving out any mention of Iran, President Biden is pledging support for the Jewish state.
The president strongly condemned the sheer evil of the assault, comparing Hamas to ISIS terrorists, and he reiterated America's commitment to Israel's security.
The United States has Israel's back. We will make sure the Jewish and democratic state of Israel can defend itself today, tomorrow, as we always have.
Mr. Biden added that he has no higher priority than the safety of Americans being held hostage. White House officials acknowledge there are citizens unaccounted for, but they don't know how many may be hostages. Greg Clugston, Washington.
Wholesale prices rose 2.2% last month, year over year. That is the sharpest rise in 5 months. On Wall Street, the Dow up 64 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Category 4 Hurricane Lydia threatens Mexico's Pacific Coast resorts.
Lydia has made landfall as an extremely dangerous Category 4 hurricane with winds of 140 mph near the resort of Puerto Vallarta. The U.S. National Hurricane Center said on Tuesday Lydia's eye appeared to make landfall near Las Pinitas in the western state of Jalisco. However, even after moving over land, Lydia's retained winds are over 100 mph. The impact comes one day after Tropical Storm Max hit the southern Pacific coast, hundreds of miles away, and then dissipated. I'm Charles de la Tasma.
Another strong earthquake has shaken parts of western Afghanistan, where a quake on Saturday killed more than 2,000 people. The 6.3 magnitude quake was about 17 miles outside Herat. The epicenter of Saturday's quake was about 25 miles northwest of there, and several aftershocks have been strong. Townhall.com. The Kremlin suffers a setback at the UN.
Russia has been defeated in its bid to regain a seat in the United Nations premier human rights body by a significant majority in an election in the General Assembly, which voted last year to suspend Moscow after its invasion of Ukraine. Russia competed against Albania and Bulgaria for 2 seats in the Geneva-based Human Rights Council representing the East European Regional Group. In Tuesday's secret ballot vote, Bulgaria got 160 votes, Albania got 123 votes, and Russia just 83 votes. Keith Peters reporting.
Suffering pneumonia, Olympic gymnastics champ Mary Lou Retton is in intensive care in a Texas hospital. Retton's daughter, McKenna Kelly, shared her mother's condition. Kelly says a 55-year-old Retton is currently fighting for her life and at this time is not able to breathe on her own. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The Travelician, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2. Roy's on it.
The Deuce.
Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Thank you, Roy. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Hope all of you having a delightful day. It's warm in here. I'm kind of verklempt. I need to open a window or something. I'm a little hot. Mostly my mouth. I've been shooting hot air out of it all morning. But anyway, feeling a little warm. Hey, I would like to remind people, if you'd like to give the gift of life and donate blood, well, for folks here in Roswell, you have an opportunity next Tuesday at the Vitalant office. They're going to have a blood drive from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. That's the next opportunity here in Roswell. It's going to be in the... it's going to be at the Vitalant office 11 to 4. If you'd like to get an appointment, reach out to call them at 575-625-9743. Again, that's 575-625-9743. And this is one of those things they're always in demand. Always. But generally, this time of year, they get a little bit extra need and things like that. So if you can, get to donate. It's actually, I say this every time, donating blood is the least amount of effort on your part that has the biggest impact on everyone else's part. Like, you get involved with a lot of things and you contribute money, you contribute time, and but you go to Vitalant, you give them a pint of blood, you're in and out in about 35 minutes, and guess what? You just saved someone's life days later by doing that. So pound for pound, donating blood, greatest thing you can do to help society with the least amount of effort on your part. That's the way I see donating blood. So if you can, donate. Now, if you can't make it out on the 17th, they will have their next one in Roswell at Church on the Move on Thursday, October 19th, and that'll be in the foyer at Church on the Move from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Again, you can call the Vitalant office to get an appointment, 575-625-9743. The last blood drive for the month of October will be on the 26th of October at the Vitalant office from 11 to 3 there. So another opportunity to get involved and donate blood there. So probably my guests from before. It's not me. I don't wear perfume. I wear deodorant.
Yeah, it smells like perfume.
Because allegedly they say that's a good idea. So I do that. And I shower.
Well,
I learned showering's good.
Surprise to everyone. No, I'm just kidding.
Shockingly, I do shower. I found out that I take but I'm going to guess it was one of our two ladies that joined us before were wearing their cologne.
It's not Sean because he's out right now.
Yes. And I don't think he wears cologne.
I don't know.
And if he does, it's not going to be feminine. It's going to be something like Stetson.
Yeah.
Something cowboy, manly Stetson.
Stetson.
Brute by Fabergé. That's what made Brute fancy, by the way. Like when they did Brute. Do you know Brute cologne? Is that even still around anymore?
Oh, okay. I don't. Is it B-R-U-T?
It's cheap men's cologne. It's Old Spice. It's like one step above Old Spice.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe. It might be neck and neck, to be honest. But anyway, back in the day, that if you were a dad in the 1990s, under every Christmas tree was, or in your stocking, was the gift set of Brute by Fabergé cologne or the Old Spice gift set. And usually it would be a thing of Brute cologne, some Brute toilet water, Eau de toilet, and
I feel like I remember,
and then some kind of lotion or something.
Yeah, I feel like I vaguely remember that.
Oh yeah. You know what? I'm going to look at Christmas this year. It should be coming soon here. We'll start seeing the end caps with Brute. They had now Stetson was like, I love you, but I'm still broke. But I'm not going to give you Brute. So you get Stetson. You know what I mean? So that was kind of
okay.
Anyway, so
are we saying Sean is broke?
I'm just saying Sean's not going to spend good hard-earned money on cologne. He's going to buy Brute or Stetson. He ain't buying I don't know. I don't even know what the name of an expensive cologne is. Because I'm going to say a name and people are like, what an idiot. I don't know. Something that they do a commercial that I don't understand on TV about. Oh, he was talking to Roy had mentioned that it smelled like cologne in here from one of the ladies.
Perfume, exactly.
And he said it wasn't Sean. And I was like, well, no, Sean's a Brute guy or Stetson.
Actually, so interestingly enough, I just recently joined a thing called Scent Box. I get a fragrance every month. Been trying out.
They put a smell in a box?
It's like a little like sample sprayer. So it's like a month's supply of whatever fragrance happens.
You got that, didn't you, Roy? It's a smell in a box.
Oh, yeah.
Step
Oh, yeah. I'm sure everyone caught
that. But yeah, no, it's so it's kind of trying
That's
different
not an
things.
obscure joke.
My fragrance of the month this month is Invictus.
Ooh, I've seen a commercial for that.
Have you?
Not recently, but yes.
It's nice. It's kind of it's like almost like I'm trying to think, like a sporty kind of melon.
That one's
citrus
more
fragrance.
dude-centric than the other commercials. Like the
Sauvage.
Yeah, that one.
That's the Johnny Depp one.
Yeah, that's the Johnny Depp one.
But I think the one you were talking about had like David Beckham or someone
really?
like that. And it was like real macho, and he's all shirtless, standing there like a Greek god kind of thing.
Well, in case I'm smelling like a Beckham this month.
Yeah, I think it was, and if it wasn't Beckham, it was someone like Beckham. I don't remember.
The Austin Butler, the guy who played Elvis in the new Elvis movie, I think he's got one. I think he's got one for. I saw a commercial with him. At least he's in the commercial for it.
I saw a commercial, cologne commercial, that features a celebrity that surprised me a bit. Katy Perry.
Really?
Yeah.
It describes Invictus as a sporty and masculine fragrance with fresh citrusy notes, warm woody undertones, and a hint of fresh jasmine.
I can never work for a company that describes stinks.
I've never described anything with undertones in my entire life.
What do? I describe stinks all day.
I describe scents. I sum up fragrances.
I've always wanted to try Sauvage, though.
I just want to know what it smells like. I don't read magazines, so I don't really know what it smells like. I'm sure there's a sample in there.
Like, I wanted to
smell like Pirates of the Caribbean.
I want to smell like Johnny Depp. That's right.
Who doesn't? Smells like a grumpy. And on that note, here's your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Pretty warm over the next few days, but we'll be cooling off quite a bit by Friday. Near 90 for the afternoon high today. Wind will be gusty, and we get lots of sunshine. Low 60s for the overnight hours and clear, and then we're in the upper 80s for the high on Thursday. High pressure will stay put. It will be a little bit windy, and we'll have plenty of sunshine. Dry cold front moves in on Thursday night, sunny and mid-70s Friday. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 57. Still not 60 yet. Love it. Humidity is at 62%. Winds are calm at the moment. That will change. And we'll warm up. Sunny and 91 today. Winds will be out of the southwest 5 to 10 this morning. 15 to 20 for this afternoon. Clear tonight with an overnight low of 58 degrees. Southwest winds 10 to 20 miles per hour. Thursday, sunny and back down to the 80s, 88 for a high. Southwest winds 5 to 10 in the morning, 15 to 20 for the afternoon. Clear skies Thursday night with an overnight low of 49 degrees. Northwest winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Friday in the 70s, back into the 70s. Sunny and 76 Friday. Winds will be out of the northwest 5 to 10 miles per hour. Saturday also in the 70s, sunny and 75, and then back up to 80 on Sunday. Sunny with a high near 80. All right, it is 8:15. We're going to take a 3.5-minute break, and then Brian Luck, superintendent for the Roswell Independent School District, will join us on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Do you struggle with acne, eczema, or worry about skin cancer? Research suggests that 1 in 5 Americans will develop skin cancer by the age of 70, but when detected early, 99% of skin cancer cases are curable. At Epiphany Dermatology of Roswell, we place special emphasis on prevention, screening, and treatment. So schedule your annual skin exam by calling us at 575-208-7050 or by visiting our website at epiphanydermatology.com and get checked today. Prevention is key.
Need new windows for your home? Beware of the sales gangster. Jennifer from Trustmark Roofing and Windows here. A sales gangster is a window salesperson with the mobster mentality. They intimidate, bully, and fast talk you into buying their less than quality windows during a 3-hour pitch. Think I'm kidding? Call a few window companies and see for yourself. Or you can skip the sales gangsters and call Trustmark. We have fair, no-nonsense pricing on our premium windows, and our appointments take only about 60 to 75 minutes. Just long enough to listen to what you need, show you your options, answer your questions, and give you a straightforward quote. Then it's up to you. We can take a no just as easy as a yes, but I'll guarantee you this. No sales gangsters. Sound fair? Call Trustmark Roofing and Windows for your no-obligation spring window assessment. 575-755-7663 or visit TrustmarkRoofPros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
A good night's sleep is so important, and issues like sleep apnea make falling asleep and staying asleep nearly impossible, but we can help. I'm Dr. Sarah Usher at Carabelli Dental. With the help of a simple oral appliance, your sleepless nights could be a thing of the past. But don't take my word for it, just ask Lainey.
My name is Lainey Smith. I wasn't surprised when I found out I had sleep apnea simply because I had a horrible sleep pattern. I attempted to use the machine and it drove me nuts and I could not sleep with it. And then that's when Dr. Ager told me about the oral appliance. I would suspect I've been using it for 2 years now. In all of that time, I've had less than 10 poor nights of sleep. It's a complete game changer. I feel a lot better because I sleep.
This simple appliance can change your life. Call us today to set up your appointment so you can finally get the good night's sleep you need.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental at the corner of 9th and Main in Roswell or call 575-622-4455.
Let's face it, guys. We're living in times where the truth is becoming more suppressed and censorship is increasing at an alarming rate, especially on social media platforms. It's Clyde, and I want to tell you about a safe and secure digital playground we put together just for you. It's aftermath.media. You get access to thousands of Ground Zero archives and podcasts, along with our private social media groups with your basic membership starting at only $7 a month. Each subscription includes tech support, access to the RSS feeds, along with our own chat room and Telegram channel. In addition, the premium membership includes research study groups, webinars, a document and movie library, a live video stream of Ground Zero, a monthly Zoom chat with me, and other bonus content. Be sure to check out our yearly specials as well. Sign up today while you're thinking about it. Sign up at aftermath.media. Again, that's aftermath.media.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Linen can absorb up to 20 times its weight in moisture before it feels damp. Now, you don't have to get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom anymore. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 19 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, Brian Luck, Superintendent for the Roswell Independent School District, is back with us. Good morning. How are you today?
Great for a Wednesday. Good morning. How are you?
Good. Yeah, weather's nice.
Oh, gorgeous.
Can't
Chamber of Commerce weather right here.
Exactly. You know, you get out and you're like, maybe I want a long sleep. Maybe I don't. I get to choose today. You know, other days you're like, nope, you're wearing as minimal as possible.
That's right.
Not now. Now you get a choice. So, but that being said, we are full into fall now with just life in general in the Roswell Independent School District. So I imagine this starts getting a busy time, especially for school board and things, because I know budget stuff's not till next year, but
yes,
the rumblings and the plannings and the plottings and kind of the early level of that kind of stuff, this is that time of the year where they start putting all those things together and getting that ready for next year when it does get hot and heavy.
Well, the part right here is this is your stuff. So
Yeah.
you're kind of making your plans, your wish list, your if we had it our way, this is what we'd like to see. And then we have our legislative session, and then that usually helps dictate, you know. If,
Then you find out really what you got.
just kidding.
Right.
So you get an opportunity then to kind of finalize and polish off everything that you were looking for. So
Sure.
no, it's ironic that you say that, because I've kind of had that shift about a week and a half ago into, okay, we're up and running. You know, we can't say that we just started because we've passed that.
Sure.
Had
We're in the
parade
groove now.
Had our parade, and it's funny that, you know, we've got back to our markers: start of school, parade, Thanksgiving, Christmas. You know, those things that as a community you look at and you see and you go, this is where we're at.
Part of the traditions that are our community.
Right. And then you shift into, okay, so what has to be done in January, February? And then other things, you know, like, well, what do we want to do? You know, I've started talking about a calendar. Actually, just yesterday, I talked to some people and said, hey, you know, we need to start looking at putting together our calendar. We had a vote the other night where Election Day will now be, and that was passed by the legislation last year. All election days, you know, that second Tuesday in November will be a holiday for the school district.
Good deal.
So we got to find a day now.
Sure.
In the other
but I
calendar.
like that because, you know, because to be honest, it does stress the importance to families that you need to go vote, and I'm good with that. That's a good thing.
Well, and it's interesting. I know, like with Albuquerque Public Schools, one of their traditions that they had for years was a balloon fiesta day.
Mm-hmm.
And given the way we were, I don't want to say mandated, but the way our days were calculated this year, they don't have that this year up there. And then we talked about.
Yeah, because they've added some days.
We all did.
Yeah, but that one was public because it's in the news all the time. But,
Right.
yeah.
Well, then they talked about snow days, and that got a little interesting. And
they got rid of them, didn't they? Or tried to.
Well, they did.
Did they? Okay.
And to be honest, we did too. So that's something we'll talk about here in a minute. But it is, you have days, and
and now you have resources to do something about that on that day. COVID gave us that. Good,
It
bad.
did.
That was a positive from COVID. We now say, guess what?
It did. So,
I know. And I hate to tell you, y'all live in New Mexico. You should be getting snow days. This is.
Well, the funny thing, I was talking with my wife the other day. She says, "So that means I can't root for a snow day again?" And I said, "No, you can still root for them. Just
you're going to school.
We're gonna have some mechanism that we account for the day."
Mm-hmm.
And so, we're on a 193 day schedule, and that was basically the walking orders for the state was, okay, from here on out, that's your baseline number. You're not going to go below that. Fair enough. And you're paid for that number of days, and they don't. It was weird. We're going by hours, but they didn't let us do hours, and I finally just quit trying to argue. I just said, okay, just tell me what we got to do.
And sometimes, it's, especially if they're trying to track employee hours and all that kind of thing on this, I hate to burst their bubble, and you know this as much as I do. Teachers are a different breed when it comes to that stuff. They're teachers. You don't realize what teachers do. Being married to one for 20 plus years, I know exactly, and you know just as well as I do.
Absolutely.
They're there on the weekends. They're spending their own money buying decorations and things. Teachers do everything on their own accord, so it's kind of hard to quantify their hours sometimes.
Well, and I've had multiple teachers have told me, and I can remember years and years of people saying, "Well, I'd it'd be nice if I was paid hourly," and I was like, some yes, some no. It's like let's stick with what they give us right now. But I think overall, we're off to a really good start.
That's good.
We've got almost our 40-day count comes up on Friday. That's a pretty big day for us, and we're moving, and it's like I said, we're past the point of we just started, and not quite to like midways or anything like that, but October's gone by so fast.
Yeah.
The August, September, we knocked those out lightning quick, and like I said, we'll be in mid-November before you know it, and I think by the next time we come back, I mean, we're halfway through November before I come back to talk to you guys.
Yeah, it just zooms by. Since we're kind of talking on the topic, I kind of do what's now that we are back into normal schedule and things that, obviously COVID, truancy, some of those are big issues, and some of that, is that starting to work itself out now, or is that still an issue?
I think we've turned back to just regular problems.
Gotcha.
So where we're talking about attendance, and that was one of the 45-minute presentations from the other night at the board meeting, and it was fantastic. The crew that did that did a great job. They had tremendous data, and we're trying to figure out, why are kids not coming to school? And, obviously it would be easy to say, well, if their parents were just punished or if this would just happen. But at the end of the day, there's a reason. And, when you're dealing with somebody strictly off of a punitive nature, well, that doesn't really do anything. I mean, if
people are going to try to hide it,
right,
and then other people are trying to seek it out, and you're creating a divisive situation, right? Instead of trying to solve the problem,
right,
you're trying to find out who's responsible for the problem, and that's not the same thing.
No, and I mean, ultimately, whatever the reason why they're not coming, that's the reason, and it's still not putting the kids in school, and that's where we need them, and for lots of reasons. I mean, we can get pretty philosophical, but as a whole, our community needs our kids to do better in school, and to be able to show up, and that way it translates for them down the road and translates for our community.
This is the next generation. When we're moving on, these are going to be the ones that your mayors, your city councilors, your business owners, the people that, and I really like to know that they're smart.
Yes. I'll just leave it at yes.
So we need to support that and everything. That's our responsibility for this generation, to foster so that they have everything they need for their generation.
Well, and it everything else from the past, 3 years aside, kids have not gone to school over the course of history. So I mean, this is not a brand new problem,
right?
But we've
been skipping school for many a millennia.
True. But when you counter that with, we weren't necessarily at the greatest proficiency level before we started skipping school or not going to school. and then you bring that in and you do that continuously,
you're seeing the impact.
That's tough.
You're seeing the impact from that.
It is. So like a high school kid here in Roswell, if they miss 2 days of class, like if they miss Monday and Tuesday for whatever reason, that's 4 days of school because of their block schedule.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, when you come back in and you're now 4 days behind, even though you only miss 1 day,
sure,
you're 2 days in this class and 2 days in that class. It just it steamrolls, and
sure.
then now they're more disgruntled and more out of it. So,
and I get it. And you're like, where's the draw of the line? They go, if they're sick, they're sick. Then so be it.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the point. Families like to do we're going to take a 3-day weekend, so we're going to take the Monday off or the Friday off or all that. And I get once in a while doing something like that,
right.
But there's families that do that on a consistent basis, and you are handicapping your children by doing that. You really, really are.
Well, and it's interesting. We've got families in town that will plan that out,
mm-hmm.
and they will, notify the teacher. They'll get the assignments. Everything works great. And things happen. I mean, life happens, and
Well, but and this is, I'm not trying to put names out there, but I've heard directly from my wife. She's heard parents in the past like, "Oh, well, we were out late last night, so we didn't get up early and come in." What? You neglected your irresponsibility to your kid now to miss on that? To me, that's not acceptable. If a parent comes to the teacher and says, "We were out late last night, so we didn't get up early," and they're out late, like partying. I'm sorry, that's not an excuse for your kid to not be in school. That's not how life works.
Well, it teaches them that too.
Yeah.
And then that just kind of it's a circle.
Yep.
And again, we're looking at trying to find the root causes to this, and some of it is some of them just don't want to be there. And and again, that's one of the things with our high school redesign is, okay, well, what can we do?
Right.
So at the end of the day, one of the things that I've tried really hard to do since I got there, and I've just tried to take over from the people that were there before me, is just because it's been that way doesn't mean it has to stay that way.
Right.
And why? And let's look to try to make it, and that we want to leave it better than we found it.
Sure.
And I found it pretty good, so it's going to be really hard to leave it better. But we get up every day and we go to work and we try to make sure that our kids are wanting to be there and
sure.
And do the best we can.
Well, and that's
for
just
them.
it. And at the end of the day, that's what the school board members and the teachers, everyone's just trying to do the best with what's there and doing what they can with
Right.
it. And sometimes it works great. Sometimes there's a lot more hurdles and obstacles to get that done.
True.
But
True.
If you think about it, the amount of moving parts involved in a school district with the kids, and let's face it, it's a polarizing thing. You mess with people's kids, they're going postal on you. And so you deal with a lot of emotion in the educational industry, as you should, because people care and they want them to care, and you want that. But we all got to realize, we got to do what's best for the whole thing. And sometimes it's responding and understanding the experts and the teachers and the people that spent many of hours with your kids
Mm-hmm.
and many of hours being educated to train your kids.
Right.
That's what they chose as their profession. Let them be the experts in the room sometime. We all need
True.
to remember that.
Absolutely.
However, but you're right. It's one of those. I'm so boxy all day today. I've been preaching all morning. I don't know why.
They let me know before I got in here.
I'm in a preachy mood today. I don't know why, but it's just we as parents and people need to be more responsible sometimes. And unfortunately, guys like Brian can't say that because he's a But I can tell you, as a husband of a teacher, parents do dumb things and say dumb things, and we have to put up with it because people get mad if you don't. And I'm sorry. Sometimes these parents need to be put in check.
One of the things that I have found is onto the board meeting.
Right.
No, and I will say this. I deal with parents on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And I have seen a change going back the other direction of supportive.
Good.
And a lot of times it's just kind of want to be heard and something really simple. And it could be simple that is blown into something really big, but it could also be simple, solved with a quick phone call.
Absolutely.
So I know as a whole, we've done pretty good. I've talked to some other superintendents, and big districts, small districts, medium-sized districts, and some of the horror stories that I've heard from them are just incredible.
Yeah.
And, for the most part, we're fairly middle of the road. We're going to veer, here and there, but I would like to think that, the town in general recognizes where we're at.
That's good. I'm glad you guys are seeing that.
Yeah.
And I'm glad it's shifting back to more rational normalcy on some of that.
I think so.
Good.
I think we've established that we're going back to work.
Good.
And that we have a mission, and that, when you publish your data and you put your stuff out so that you can show people, this is our roadmap, this is where we've been, this is where we are, this is where we want to go. It does help.
Yeah.
And I think in general, people really want that for their kids, because I think a lot of them, when we talked about this a lot in the past, when they were having to do it, they recognize. Now, that doesn't make it, easier. They're still your kids.
Sure.
And when they come home and they say things, you're still going to do what you're going to do and react the way you're going to react. But I would say overall, we've been off to a really good start. Till I said that. But no, I'm excited just to see where we're going.
That's good.
I mean, we had a really good board meeting the other night, and it was interesting because it was almost like everything just kind of aligned at the same time. And we had some really good reports. We had a pre-K report from our Parkview group, and we have an early childhood program. A lot of people don't know that in our district. We have 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds, and the 3-year-olds are all at Parkview, and the 4-year-olds are scattered at multiple sites around the district. And if you've never run into a 4Y classroom, that is a foreign experience for me. I was a secondary guy, and so I'm having to kind of learn the lingo with them. But
they got a few more needs than them high school kids.
Boy, that's another show all of its own.
Different needs.
All of its own right there. I'm not gonna take that bait. But Sally Green, Danielle Ortega, they brought in their team. They did a phenomenal job with talking with the kid, or talking with the board. Giving them an overview of what they do. Then our attendance team jumped up and gave a quick presentation on what we're doing, what our data shows.
Good.
And that was the thing that I wanted to emphasize with the board. We had a moment, and I just said, our data is what our data is. We are who we are, and we know that, and we're not going to hide from that. We're not going to run from it. So that it's transparent.
Well, and yeah, the numbers are the numbers, and you're always wanting to make the numbers better. No matter how good the numbers are, you want to make them better. That's the whole point of this. We want to do that. So you're right. It's and you got to be, and you said the numbers are what the numbers are. If you're not honest with yourself on that stuff, how do you fix it? Yep. And so I love that. That's the mindset. Yeah. Hey, we do it, and we got room to grow, or we got, there's always room to grow. No matter how tall you are, there's still room to grow a little bit in this kind of world. So.
Well, the next presentation that came up is something that I wanted to kind of focus on today, which is our bond election coming up. We have 2 items up. Our SB9, which is our mill money, which is how we do our general repairs on our buildings.
Yep. It's sort of a formality for the public, because it's not really, you're not going to see raises in taxes on this kind of stuff.
No, sir.
But it's asking permission to redo these bonds, reissue these bonds, and and this is, we're getting that time of year where you see when you go to vote and you see the bond C, D, the mill levy bonds. These are all how funding happens for the schools, or the senior center, or some of these the libraries and the college institutions. These various bonds help with that. Technically, guys like Brian can't tell you to vote for it, but guys like me can. Yes, vote for this stuff. You're not going to notice a difference in your taxes or any of that stuff, but this is vital money that your schools and your libraries and your colleges all use to earmark for projects and things. Like a lot of the renovations you're seeing at NIMI, right, over the summer and all that, those are bond issues.
Right.
The stuff with security down at ENMUR and stuff, that's all because you guys voted yes on some of these bond stuff. Many of the stuff you see that the happenings through the RSD right now, money supplied through these mill levy and bond stuff. This is important. There's one for libraries, there's one for higher learning institutions, there's this mill levy. Right. I believe there's a senior center one usually too, or something like that. But I always say support these because it's services that you might need someday, and it'd be sure nice if they're available, when you need them.
I know I was handed a torch to try to finish the buildings in the district, the schools, and some people that were very forward-thinking, Mr. Gottlieb, all the other superintendents, Mr. Burris, Ms. McElroy, they grabbed those and pushed those projects forward so that we could have a brand new Del Norte or an El Capitan, and we've got 2 left that we don't have currently in the pipeline. So Mesa Middle School is finishing up,
right?
With Nancy Lopez hot on its heels, getting ready to start construction soon.
Good.
Those 2 are in the pipeline. Then we're going to move over to Mountain View, and then hopefully Washington Avenue. So those are my 2 big pushes right now.
And then it'll be time to start over again.
Then we've got 2 other small schools that we've got to worry about. But
and this is such a great and this is where I have a unique perspective a little bit on this, because I moved to Roswell right out of the military right around 2000. That was about the time Roswell became my home. I met my wife and everything. And that's really at the time where this shift happened, because at that moment, if you looked at schools in 1999, 2000 in Roswell, most of them were out of repair. They hadn't had money invested in them in many years, because we were a retirement community. We didn't have the number of kids we used to. But that shift's changed immensely over the last 20, 30 years here. And people got smart back there around that time and said, we need to overhaul and invest. And and all those superintendents you mentioned earlier, everyone have had a part in keeping that thing going over this last 20 years, and we're almost there. That's what Brian said. We're at that last spot where we're finally there, and so. But to me, this has been the best, most needed thing that this school district's had. So of all the stuff we've done, to me, that's the biggest accomplishment I think this district's done in the last 20 years is get these schools back to a place they need to be to actually be a good learning center for our children.
Well, if you have not been by Mesa Middle School in the last year or so, it is amazing. I mean, what we moved out of to what we just moved into, there's no comparison. I mean, it is literally night and day. And then you're fixing to do the same thing with Nancy Lopez, if my memory serves me correctly, the first one that was done was Missouri Avenue. And even today, you drive by Missouri Avenue, and it's grand.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at it. El Capitan Elementary School doesn't look like it belongs here. Del Norte looks like it's a mid school.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. We want our kids, when they walk up, their parents pull up, that they're proud of that building that's in their community.
But my wife's school, Brenda Elementary, she's been teaching there her whole career, 26 years now. It is not the same building it was when she started working in the building. It's not even remotely the same building. And I saw it back then. I remember going in there and seeing it. And you walk in there now, I'm like, wow, this looks, even to me, someone that doesn't walk in every day, I'm in it a couple times a month or whatever. I walk in, I'm like, man, it's so much nicer and better than it was back when she was first starting out in this stuff.
Well,
it's way different.
I went to kindergarten at Washington Avenue Elementary School, and I turned 52 in February. So, I mean, to put the perspective, that building, that room that I went to kindergarten, is still there. And every day we put kids in it, and, expect for modern technology to be supported in a building that has, it's hard to do that. Even, your home, if your home is more than, 20, 25 years old, and you want to do some type of a major upgrade, it's from the studs out. You're having to really do a lot of work on that. So
speaking of that, real quick, while we're talking renovations, how's everything at the district building going? I know
it's going
with the amphitheater or the auditorium and all that. Not amphitheater, auditorium. How's the renovation or remodel
works
going
progressing. There? They have the pipes. That's been the one part of the job that I could see on a daily basis because it's right outside my window. But they have got the pipes ready to go for the chillers. They got the electrical lines placed. They put they came in yesterday with concrete mix type stuff, and I mean they're moving.
Good.
It's very nice. Now I will say, just to remind people, that project was not funded the same as what we're looking at for this. So this money is
and quite frankly, this is a job that's been kind of kicked down the can for many, many years now, and now we're at a point it's like, well, we need to do something about it.
Well, and we had the opportunity with the ESSERS money that came through. So again, an opportunity for me to take the reins of a project that was started and get it across.
I know exactly what you're saying. That the money was shifted to the schools and getting all that in there. The admin building was an afterthought here on this, and so, but that building is really a landmark because it's an old school and still looks like an old school.
Well,
but it's still nice.
Radiator heaters in the room, and
it
they'll
just
come
needs
on.
to be modernized. Yeah, it needs to have the amenities of a modern building,
and it will. I mean, our plan with that is summer.
But it's such an iconic building.
And to be able to walk into that auditorium to Pueblo, and the sound, the acoustics in that room, and actually to go flip a switch and have the air conditioner turn on, and it'd be cool in 5-10 minutes or heated in 5 to 10 minutes.
Such a nice luxury.
It would be
don't
very
realize
nice. It would be very nice, and we look forward to using it a little bit more.
I do.
For that too. But I think to put the bow on the other part, I'm encouraging people to go vote. And vote your conscience. And if it's something that you don't feel like you can support, that's fine. If you have questions about it, I'd be more than happy to visit with, sit down, have a cup of coffee or Coke or whatever, and talk to you. If you have a group, I have a presentation. It takes about 15 minutes. It's not a long presentation, but I'd be more than happy to come and explain a little bit about what we're doing.
Here's what I will say. The reason we've had to spend the last 20 years of doing all this stuff is because people in a time voted no on these kind of things. I get what you're saying if you want to vote no, but you consistently vote no on this, all the great work that's been done will be undone within a matter of years, because if we don't do this kind of thing, that's why now again, he's got to play Switzerland on this. I'm not that guy. I'm a dumb DJ. I can say what I want, and it would not benefit this community by you voting no on those things. You would actually hurt it more, because even if you don't have kids in the system and any of that stuff, guess what? You pay taxes, you eat, you drink, you water your lawn, you work and live here. Those people that you're supporting are going to be the people that are in your lives doing these things and making sure all that. So if you want the best amenities in your community, you need to support the schools by providing them with the best amenities to do their job.
And that's really all we're asking is just if you get out, participate in the process. And like I said, if there's more you want to know, don't hesitate to reach out to me at Central Office. I'd be more than happy to talk to you, kind of tell you a little bit more about what we're doing.
Absolutely, Please, ask questions. I'd love to show you and tell you. Shoot, I bet you Brian give you a tour of the facility. If you talk nice to him, he'll show you around and do everything.
Absolutely.
Good deal.
Absolutely.
Is there any other stuff we want to, outside of the money construction stuff, we want to cover and let folks know about?
Yeah. We had, in part of my report the other night, I have all of my departments submit a report, and then I give it to the board, usually the Friday before a board meeting. And we had a report from the IT department this time that I thought was pretty interesting, because we have been very blessed over the last 5-10 years, and I wanted it on paper to show what my IT department does. And we're talking like 18,000 Chromebooks in the district and over 10,000
and their job
devices.
grows every year, because when there's less test books, there's more Chromebooks.
That's right. Well, and the irony is we're doing some testing today. I'm not real sure which one it is, but I know they were setting up the big gym last night after a volleyball game. So I mean, there's always something going on, but our tech people run constantly all over the district, and when you look at per capita, how many people you have and what they're doing, and that every classroom in the district has a smart board, at least one, and they have probably at least either a desktop and a laptop, or multiple sets of devices that the teacher has available. And for us to be able to,
my wife's second grade classroom's way more high tech than anything I ever had in there. It's the Promethean boards, smart boards, all those things. They got,
you bet, and they have the ability, that everything changes on a when you get a new piece of technology, it's obsolete, because the latest greatest is coming right behind it, and it's already doubled what that one is able to do. And we appreciate that our kids and our families, that when we send our stuff home and it comes back and the same condition that it left in, and we get that back. I mean, there's a lot that we ask on our techs, and I wanted to focus that with the board. Because it's a heavy lift, and that's one that you just kind of always assume things are going to work. And we found that out before COVID. We had a little virus roll through, and I was at the building level at that time, and it stops a lot of things, and you don't realize how dependent you are on that.
Yeah, I get reminded of that my job every day with the radio and everything, and it's like man, this job would be so easy if it wasn't for this technology.
Well, and I tell you what's interesting,
but it's necessary.
And this is a huge compliment to Gene and to the boss.
Mm-hmm.
People have come to, I don't say depend, but they rely heavily on what your company does.
Yeah, and we try. I mean, sometimes the internet beats us on certain days, or the equipment beats us, but we do try to do our get the best stuff out there.
Well, and you get spoiled. I mean, from a ball game that's in Farmington, and what do you mean you only have audio? And it's like, do you realize what that would have taken to do the other? But and then you step back and go, wow, I've really gotten spoiled with what they do. And that's
that being said, Goddard is playing tomorrow night.
Yes,
because of district play. We don't have the people to send the camera guy, and unfortunately, the Cruces, they have a great video program.
Mm-hmm.
They don't run it on Thursday nights.
Right.
They do it on Fridays. So we will have Jeff Matthews, one of our partners there in Las Cruces. He's going to call the game for us, and we're going to bring it for you here on our radio station, and we'll have audio only at KSVP TV. But don't worry, Friday night when arguably the two best states in the state, two best teams in the state meet up here at the Wool Bowl on Friday night, we'll have video for you. But you know what? Y'all get your butts in that Wool Bowl Friday. Artesia's going to bring all them orange people and sit on that side over there. There better equally be a sea of red on that other side Friday night. Otherwise, I may tell them to turn off the feed. Just kidding. I won't do that. But I don't have that kind of power, but I should.
That contract negotiation right there. So we actually had posted, and I had it moved yesterday so I could put my video back up, but we'll get it put back up. It's an online, and that's how we buy our tickets here in our district. And,
good deal.
And we actually had it set up so that you could get them earlier. I think we've got the gates set to open maybe 30 minutes earlier for the ball game, just because we're trying. We're anticipating a pretty good crowd.
It's the technology here, but if you do need help with that, you can call your schools, you can call the office. They'll be happy to help you navigate that. But yeah, you kind of got to get through all that in advance now. And again, this is the world we live in now. It's kind of changed how we do some of this with COVID, and so things like this are kind of the new system now. So
well, it's interesting. You talk about bringing generations together. I was standing outside a very long ticket line one evening, and the words coming back through the ticket line that you have to buy it on your phone.
Mm.
And I watched a couple people that were probably a little older than I am, and they're sitting there with just this look of disgust. And a 14, 15-year-old kid standing right behind them, and they're like, the person turned around and they're like, "Can you help me on my phone?" And the kid's like, "Here, sure."
Yeah.
And bam, 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 and they got the ticket bought, and they look and they're just like, "How'd you do that?" And it's really interesting to see, because it is such a difference in
absolutely
your expectations. That I expect to walk up with cash and get my ticket,
especially with things that you do a certain way your whole life.
Yeah,
like going to football games.
Absolutely. Well, and that was one of the big reasons why we wanted to make sure that we kept the athletic tickets.
Yeah,
because people will come in and they will just they'll make one purchase a year, and it's over.
Sure.
And then from that point forward, they just go to the game and you punch my ticket.
To be honest, it's actually way easier once you understand the method behind it here a little bit. Yeah, I get it. Your smartphone, you're like, dude, I barely make phone calls on this thing. But yeah, find a 15-year-old, let them spend 5 minutes with you, and you will have no problem.
Right, and we have the ability to track things better, but then it also is a better thing for us just simply because when we leave town to go to we were like the last school district that didn't do this. So when our fans were going other places, they were having to do this.
They were being trained by other districts.
So, but again, that's that. Like you said, that should be a pretty good ball game Friday night.
Oh, it's going to be. I would argue, and to be honest, depending on how set up brackets come playoff time, that should be a replay of your championship game. But I know how they work, and the coaches poll, and they'll probably stick them on the same side of the bracket, some way, shape, or form. But
well, our district, I say our district here for football, it's going to go through here, and we should have quite a few teams in that, and And there is a pretty good potential that there will be some games played with some local teams, for that. So,
sure. But it's going to be fun. But like I said, we will carry it ksvptv.com right here on 106.5. But get out there and pack the Wool Bowl. The visitors are going to bring their crowd. Support the Coyotes and get a sea of red on that home side out here on Friday night.
And it's funny because the Roswell High fans really show out, and they're pretty vocal. And so I don't.
Well, you're going to be you're on task Friday night.
They are that, and they're going to be tested. So it'll be a pretty good ball game.
Oh, it's going to be a great game.
Looking forward to it.
I'm excited. This is I've been kind of waiting to see this matchup for a while because both teams are great. And I ain't gonna lie, when Artesia beat Cleveland, I was like, ooh, that's quite a accomplishment here. That's gonna make this game much more exciting.
Well, and where it's played is such a big
And to be honest, these two teams know each other so well they can't pull the same shenanigans on each other. You know what I mean? Like they know each other's tricks, so they can't kind of pull the moves they pull on the other schools on each other. So it's going to be a good game Friday night. So get out there. But tomorrow night equally, great game. Yes. Mayfield, that's going to be a fun game to listen to. Jeff Matthews does a great job calling that game. Kickoff will be about 7. As far as breaks and all that, I'm kind of at the mercy of their clock. So I'm just going to play by ear what they do, and so we'll have it for you here on.
Well, then Las Cruces isn't that far of a drive, and they have good food. And if you got the time, get on over there. Field of Dreams is a neat.
Absolutely,
it's a neat venue. It's a great football venue, and Cruces always puts on a good show.
If you're a burger guy, I never had a Five Guys burger. They got a Five Guys, and
right
Cruces hit it on the way there, and then guarantee. I'm from D.C. and that's where they came from, so I know before those burgers are no joke. Even before Obama ate one, I knew. All right, it is. Sorry, did we miss everything?
No,
I got in my own little world.
Nope, we got
done,
it.
Brian?
We're good.
Good deal. Thank you, Brian. Appreciate it. And if anything else we need or anything special, please reach out. Let me know. Whatever. We'll, if it doesn't line up with our normal monthly thing, please let me know. We'd be happy to do it.
Please show up to vote.
Absolutely. Vote. It is 8:54. Let's get you up to date with news. Quick break before, quite frankly, more news. Don't go away.
Now for your Pecos Valley News Update, I'm Jared Cirillo. The Roswell Police Department is asking for some help. They are investigating incidences of someone offering handyman or small construction services, taking money to perform a specified project, and then never showing up to do the job, cutting off contact with the person who paid for the work. RPD is asking for contact from anyone who has hired someone identifying themselves as a handyman or contractor to do repairs, construction, or other similar work, and the individual requested the money up front and then did not return to do the work. You can call the Roswell Police Department at 624-6770. The New Mexico Taxation and Revenue Department says some residents are getting fake letters claiming there's been a warrant issued over unpaid property taxes. TRD says they do not issue such warrants to collect taxes. The letters are going to individuals with outstanding property tax debts. The letters claim to offer help in resolving the debt if the individual receiving the letter calls a phone number. TRD says individuals with unresolved property tax debt should work with their county treasurer's office. If the debt's been turned over to the state, you can call 505-827-0083. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
Hey everyone, with your Cowboys Report, I'm Christy Scales. The boys head to SoFi Stadium in Week 6 to take on the Chargers, and it's a special place for a Pro Bowl return specialist who burst on the scene in a memorable game there. More on Cavante Turpin after this.
Cowboys Nation is big because everything's bigger in Texas. And Reliant has the energy to power it all. From home field advantage to home sweet home, Reliant has Dallas Cowboys fans all across the Lone Star State covered for every electric moment this season and beyond. Reliant, proud to be the official energy provider of your Dallas Cowboys.
Reliant, PUCT number 10007.
Becky Hammond on being the first woman to coach in the NBA.
What if it's no big deal that I'm a woman? What if it's about striving for excellence and being the best me without the label?
It's not about where others say you should be, it's about where you want to go. It's about a financial services company that focuses on your measures of success. Whether it's for your home or business, we offer personalized service and expert advice to help you achieve your unique goals.
Visit swbc.com for financial services without the labels.
For this coming Monday night's game at the Chargers, the Cowboys know they'll be without Leighton Vander Esch because of a neck injury, but they're hoping receiver and return specialist Cavante Turpin is available. He hurt his ankle in a loss to the 49ers, but special teams coordinator John Fossil definitely wants to see Turpin back in the spot Monday at SoFi Stadium, where in preseason 2022 he scored 2 touchdowns.
Looking back on it now, over a year later, I mean, it's fantastic. It's awesome. We got young professional who's as brave as anybody. We just got to find that magic. The ball in Turp's hands across the goal line again sometime.
Turpin does have 2 scores this season, but both came on offense. With your Cowboys Report, I'm Christy Scales.
From morning runs to playing with grandkids, taking part in activities brings great joy to our lives, but it can also come with injuries. And for those in physically demanding jobs, the daily grind can wear on muscles, bones, and joints and lead to acute and long-term disorders. If you're suffering from an orthopedic injury, let our Artesia General Hospital specialists help. The sooner you address the root cause, the sooner you'll be back to living life in motion. Learn more at artesiageneral.com/orthopedics.
Listen up, golfers. Pecos Valley Production presents the first annual Dairy to Dank Golf Tournament, Saturday, October 14th at the Spring River Golf Course. This 3-person scramble begins at 11 a.m. with a shotgun start at noon. It's only $450 per team, including food, drinks, and beer. A portion of the proceeds to benefit the Anita Silas Memorial Fund, supporting breast cancer awareness. Sponsorships are available. Contact Maria Sosa at 575-914-2732 for more information and to get signed up. The first annual Dairy to Dank Golf Tournament, Saturday, October 14th at the Spring River Golf Course in Roswell. Sponsored by Pecos Valley Production, hitting the green since 2016.
In a time where humans and technology collide, ineffective technology plagues our businesses, schools, and healthcare environments. DSI Document Solutions has emerged as New Mexico's safeguard from the pains of slowed productivity, providing our nation's top business technology, workflow strategies, and support. DSI is here to boost your productivity and reduce your costs. Get ready for success. Visit our new website at dsinm.com.
After a week off, it's back to business for your Goddard Rockets. And coming up this Thursday, your Rockets are back on the road, headed to Mayfield to take on the Trojans. Here at 106.1 FM and KSVPTV.com have got you covered. Join Chris Deck and Chris Roybal for the pregame show at 6:45 and kickoff at 7. Rockets versus the Trojans of Mayfield High. Thursday beginning at 6:45 on Sierra 106.1 FM and at KSVPTV.com. Southeastern New Mexico's sports authority, then, now, and always.
Your home for Kim Commando in Roswell. 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
And we're closing in on 9 o'clock. Town Hall News is up next. Stay tuned next hour. Nicole Dean with Tobosa Developmental Services will join us, give us an update on what's happening there. Town Hall News up next. We'll be back. Don't go away.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Finding themselves at war with Hamas terrorists, Israel's political factions are pulling together. Opposition leader Benny Gantz says he has an agreement to enter a wartime unity government with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. In a joint statement, the two men say they'll form a 5-member war management cabinet. And ahead of an expected massive ground assault, Israel has been hammering the Hamas stronghold of Gaza City. Saturday's murderous Hamas rampage saw Israeli civilians slaughtered. Congressman Kevin McCarthy says the House Republican caucus at its meeting last evening
said a prayer for Israel. As you know, every year I would lead the new members to Israel. We do it on a bipartisan basis. On our last trip, we went down to visit the border along Gaza, see the Iron Dome. And we went and toured a kibbutz. That is the exact same one that you found the atrocities today of young babies being murdered, being decapitated.
Republicans say the barbaric attack raises questions about security here at home, given the wide-open southern border and the millions who have poured unvetted into the country. President Biden, while not mentioning Iran, says the U.S. has Israel's back and is stepping up military aid. This as the U.S. tries to determine the fate of U.S. citizens who are unaccounted for in Israel.
White House National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan said the U.S. believes that 20 or more Americans are missing.
But I want to underscore and stress that
does not mean necessarily that there are 20 or more American hostages. Just that is the number who are currently unaccounted for.
Sullivan said that the administration at the moment has no plans of putting U.S. troops on the ground.
White House correspondent Greg Clugston. Will it be Jim Jordan, Steve Scalise, maybe someone else? Lawmakers due to vote today on a new Speaker of the House. On Wall Street, the Dow up 74 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
Ukrainian President Zelensky joining a meeting of more than 50 defense leaders from around the globe, making a personal pitch for more military aid.
Political support in the US for the war has been lagging, and allies are under pressure to send weapons to bolster Israel in its war with Hamas. It is the first time Zelensky has attended the NATO meeting in Brussels in person. His presence underscores growing concerns about cracks in what has been staunch international backing for Kyiv in its war against Russia's invasion, and worries that Ukrainian forces haven't made measurable progress in the counter-offensive as winter closes in. The new Mideast war has complicated matters and has created competition for weapons and funding. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
Dozens of activists have been protesting at Norway's parliament, expressing frustration over the government's failure to shut down a wind farm. They say it endangers a way of life of indigenous reindeer herders. Townhall.com. Arizona Republican Kari Lake running for U.S. Senate.
Republican Senate candidate Kari Lake kicked off her campaign with a rally in Scottsdale, Arizona Tuesday.
If the Democrats keep the Senate, they will pack the Supreme Court. They will make Washington, D.C. and Puerto Rico a state. They will legalize infanticide. They'll block President Trump's agenda.
She's trying out new messages and courting the support of national Republicans. The rally included a video endorsement from former President Donald Trump.
And when I'm back in the White House, I need strong fighters like Kari.
Other Republican candidates include Pinal County Sheriff Mike Lamb. I'm Jennifer King.
The latest on inflation, wholesale prices surged 2.2% last month compared to 1 year ago. It was the sharpest rise in 5 months, suggesting that inflation remains a problem despite a year and a half of interest rate hikes by the Fed. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The traveler said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
It was a lot cooler in my head.
Yeah.
I'm going to flip it up all quick and be cool.
Yeah. Well, sometimes like you don't have the strings right on the hoodie,
Yeah.
and then it's too tight. It doesn't flip over right, and
You just smack yourself
next
in the
thing
back of the
you
head.
just whack the back of your bald spot. Yeah, I know that. Oh, in my case, I whacked the back of my bald spot. Not Sean.
No, it's actually mine's more like right here.
Oh,
right in that region.
I got to see it tranquility
Hence,
right there.
hence the comb over. That's why I started the side part.
Yeah, it's the Mojave Desert right about here.
I moved the thick part of my hair to the thin part of my hair.
And I had such a bulbously weird shaped head that I don't think going bald will look good with me. I don't know.
I think you'd pull it off. I've seen you
To a point.
close.
Yeah, I've pretty much.
Yeah, and it's not. I mean, it's a good look.
Yeah,
but it's also one of those things where it's like I don't want to shave it because I'm afraid it will come back, but only in parts.
Well, and that's just it too. Is it's actually more work to shave
Mm-hmm.
to do it right.
Yeah, because then you got to maintain it.
Because the next day it's stubbly, and you gotta bick it
If
down
you don't,
again.
if you don't want American History X head,
Yeah,
you got to maintain that daily.
Yeah. These are the quagmire. This is why I wear hats now.
You and Mike O'Malley.
I'm all about the skull caps.
Mm-hmm.
Those are my thing. But I like the scully ones.
Now, is that what they're officially called? Because I always thought those were Kangles. Kango hats.
Well, the company I bought a portion of my hats from is called Scully.
Okay.
And so three of my hats are actually Scully brand hats.
Gotcha.
And they're a company that I think they're based out of Boston.
No, if they're called Scully, it makes sense.
And they have many a hat.
That reminds me, the most annoying commercials on TV today are Sam Adams, your cousin from Boston. I am so annoyed with those commercials now.
There's one that makes me giggle, and it's the Oktoberfest one. I'm not sure if they showed it this year, but they've showed it in years past, and it's with that guy, the guy in the commercials. Yeah. He's at an Oktoberfest with the Germans, and he asked the one German, he goes, "Hey, you want another beer?" And the guy goes, 9. He goes, "Good on you. I'll take 10.
That's pretty funny. Do you remember that Jimmy Fallon, Tina Fey SNL bit they used to do back in the day when it was the two Boston lovers?
Yeah.
And they would, I freaking love you. I love you back. That's the vibe. It's like, it almost feels like they wanted Mark Wahlberg for this campaign, but they couldn't get him, so they just did him anyways.
Or that one movie with Drew Barrymore and
with Jimmy Fallon. Also Jimmy Fallon. Where they're Red Sox fans.
Yeah, he's a teacher or something, and he's like a diehard Red Sox fan and falls in love with Drew Barrymore.
Is it just called The Fan?
Who doesn't realize that he's an obsessive fan for the Red Sox. I can't remember the name of that. Something Catch? Maybe?
Might have been, hang on, Drew
Something
Barrymore,
Catch?
Jimmy Fallon. I think it was
Something Catch. I feel like it
was called. See, now I'm doing it.
I feel like Catch was in the name of the titles.
Well, that was also in that weird glut of like all the baseball movies.
Yeah.
Fever Pitch.
Fever Pitch. That's
You're
what
thinking
it was.
of The Catch, which was that one with crud, Matthew Lillard.
Yeah,
was in
that
it.
one.
And actually, I think that one also had Freddie Prinze Jr.
Yes, the Freddie Prinze one. Yes, that one. That was back when Freddie Prinze, before he kind of stepped away from the front of the camera.
Yeah,
Like
which is, you know what's interesting is he's gone into like directing and stuff
Yeah.
now, but more to the point, he's also in the process of starting his own wrestling federation.
Okay, and I think he still pops in as an actor every once in a while on things.
Well,
But most of the time he's behind the scenes.
He does. He slips in every now and like just to kind of play Freddy and stuff.
Yeah.
But he was a writer for WWE for like a decade.
Okay.
That's like he actually was kind of in that world. It's so funny when like people who are known for a thing then pop up in this little mini realm that I call home.
Yeah.
Like Billy Corgan. Makes me laugh every time I realize Billy Corgan is the guy who runs NWA.
It's new.
It
just doesn't make sense because he looks.
The dude
to
from
me, he
19
looks like Uncle Fester.
Okay.
Billy Corgan is Uncle Fester modern times.
One of my favorite images of all time, and I don't just mean of him, I mean of all time. There's a picture on the cover of an issue of Cat Fancier magazine.
That's a real magazine?
Cat Fancier magazine with Billy Corgan wearing a respectable sweater and sweater vest combo with his cat sitting proud and khaki pants with his cat sitting proudly on his lap.
Well, good for him.
It's just such a... this is the dude from Smashing Pumpkins.
I know.
What happened?
Well, to me, that whole story, the part that shocks me is there's actually a real magazine called Fancier Magazine.
Cat Fancier.
Like, oh, my God.
I'm going to find that cover and I'll try to post it on the
I really want to know what kind of
Facebook
readership
page.
that magazine has. Like
single women.
It's got to be enough to make money.
Okay, maybe it's just Cat Fancy. Yeah, I think it's just called Cat Fancy. Okay, well, this is Pause Chicago. So he's apparently done several of these. That's him in the issue of Pause Chicago, but I got to find the one with Cat
does
Fancy.
he have any hair ever? Like,
I'm pretty sure he does.
He's got eyebrows? I'm not even sure he's got eyebrows.
He does have a slight eyebrow.
Okay,
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, otherwise he would just be completely hairless. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, it's really funny that he's a cat enthusiast.
He should get a hairless cat.
He should. He would look like a villain if he did that, though.
He's Dr. Evil. He kind of looks like Dr. Evil already.
He needs a series of swivel chairs and hairless cats.
If he ever puts a light bulb in his mouth and it lights up, I'm going to know. He always creeps me out.
He's a different dude.
He's a different dude. But Cat Fancy Magazine. Ask for it by name.
The world is a vampire.
It is. Despite all the rage, I'm still just a rat in a cage.
Still just a cat on my lap.
I think it's still on the air in some places.
I was just gonna say Deadliest Catch.
No, Deadliest Catch. It's a different. It's like Deadliest Catch, but it's different. I think it's basically a group of whale. They're a group that fights these whale hunters in Japan and all that.
Yeah.
And so they're like a militia, and they have like 3 or 4 boats, and they really go around and sabotage
Whale Wars.
Whale Wars, I think is what it was called.
And yeah, their theme song was
the Smashing Pumpkins song, and I gotta be honest. That was the best part of the show.
It really was.
It was the intro, and you're and they show the boats jumping, and they do all that stuff.
Just because they cut to the intro, and you hear, the world is a vampire.
Yeah, and then you see them doing all their tactics, and it was like A-Team, man. It was great.
I actually enjoyed that show for
and then you watch the rest of the show, and I was like, this is kind of a snooze fest.
It was fun. Watch them paint bomb, whaling ships.
I don't know, it just got old after a while. The song was the best part of the show.
It was. Admittedly. Activism, it's real hard to make activism look like hip and cool.
Well, and I don't know.
They did a good enough job.
Yeah, it was. I wonder if that group is still around, or did they lose lose their funding or whatever? I'm curious about that. But anyway, let me give you the rundown.
Yes, you do that.
For this hour of the show. Billy Corgan will not be, I guess, for the show today. Sorry, nor his Cat Fancy. However, we will get you up to date with the weather here in just a bit, and then joining us from Toboso Developmental Services here in just a bit, we'll have Nicole Dean, Michelle Pruitt, and Kurt Harrison, and we'll get an update from them here in just a few. Later on in the hour, we'll get you up to date with news of the local variety, along with your Wall Street business update and whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show.
It's all the way back in 2013.
Is that when it came out?
Oh, that's when it was canceled, apparently.
Oh.
This says, as Watson, the guy who led the things, legal problems mounted, Animal Planet decided months before the injunction to change its production plans for this season and not hire production crews to go on board the vessels for the 3-month campaign. So, yeah, pretty much it kind
of died a slow death.
Yeah. I'm guessing whalers were like, this isn't cool what you're doing. Stop. We're going to sue you. And they
I'm sure the lawsuits did show up, and we'll see. But anyway, it was a fun show for the minute I watched it.
In the case of Watson v. Chicken of the Sea.
All right, it is 9:15. Now that song's stuck in my head. We're going to get you up to date with the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Pretty warm over the next few days, but we'll be cooling off quite a bit by Friday. Near 90 for the afternoon high today. Wind will be gusty, and we get lots of sunshine. Low 60s for the overnight hours and clear, and then we're in the upper 80s for the high on Thursday. High pressure will stay put. It will be a little bit windy, and we'll have plenty of sunshine. Dry cold front moves in on Thursday night, sunny and mid-70s Friday. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 62 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 56%. Winds currently out of the north at 3 miles per hour. Sunny today. Expect a high of 91 degrees. This is our warm day this week. Winds will be out of the west 5 to 10 miles per hour this morning. out of the southwest 15 to 20 miles per hour for this afternoon. Tonight, mostly clear with an overnight low of 58 degrees. Winds out of the southwest 10 to 20 miles per hour. Thursday, sunny, 88 for a high tomorrow. Winds out of the southwest early 5 to 10 miles per hour, but later in the day shifting to the west and increasing 15 to 20 miles per hour. Clear skies Thursday night. Overnight low of 49. We'll be in the 40s Thursday night. Yeah, that wind's bringing in some cooler temps. For Friday, our high is only 75 under sunny skies. Winds will be out of the northwest, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Saturday, also sunny, highs right around 75 degrees. And then Sunday, we'll warm back up to near 80 under sunny skies. All right, it is 9:17. We're going to take a 3-minute break, and then we'll talk to the folks from Tobosa Developmental Services on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Hi, I'm Dr. Keon at Carabelli Dental. Same-day smiles are what we do. My passion is helping patients chew, talk, and live with confidence. That's why I'm one of the few doctors in the U.S. who can create beautiful same-day smiles with the latest digital implant technology. This procedure is life-changing. Just ask Sean.
Hi, I'm Sean. I've been that voice that you've heard on the radio for most of my life, but I'm also a dad to 2 amazing kids. I've had a million reasons to smile, but in all my old pictures, I was never smiling. Truth is that life of improper care and being dealt a bad hand genetically left me practically with no teeth. It affected everything from the way I ate, the way I talked, and of course how I interacted with people. And that's where Dr. Keon and Carabelli stepped in. They eased my fears. They explained every step of the process in a way that I could understand, and they made me feel almost like I was part of the team. And now, I can't stop smiling. I have so much more confidence, and I love looking in the mirror now. I can't explain how much of a difference Dr. Keon's dental implant process made for me.
Our team can help you find your smile too. Come see us at Carabelli Dental, 575-622-4455.
From morning runs to playing with grandkids, taking part in activities brings great joy to our lives, but it can also come with injuries. And for those in physically demanding jobs, the daily grind can wear on muscles, bones, and joints and lead to acute and long-term disorders. If you're suffering from an orthopedic injury, let our Artesia General Hospital specialists help. The sooner you address the root cause, the sooner you'll be back to living life in motion. Learn more at artesiageneral.com/orthopedics.
Rosa, have you decided where you're going to college yet?
There's so many choices. I'm still not sure.
Well, I've decided to attend the University of New Mexico. It's the only Research One university in the state. It's the flagship, and their academic programs are among the best in the nation.
The University of New Mexico? Can I still apply?
Of course. UNM is New Mexico's best university, and residents of New Mexico get preference in admission. Apply now, and we'll attend UNM together.
The University of New Mexico, New Mexico's University of Opportunity. Apply today at unm.edu.
Every piece of land has a story, written by those who work it. But everyone's story is different. So the question is, how will you tell yours? Behind the wheel of a John Deere compact tractor, mower, or Gator utility vehicle. Run with us and start telling your story today.
Stop by Pecos Valley Equipment in Artesia and Roswell, or visit us online at pecosvalleyequipment.com.
After a week off, it's back to business for your Roswell Coyotes. And coming up this Friday night, your Coyotes are back home at the Wool Bowl, taking on the Bulldogs of Artesia High. 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM and KSVPTV.com have got you covered. Join Art Sandoval and Kelly McDonald for the pregame show beginning at 6:45 and kickoff at 7. Coyotes versus the Bulldogs of Artesia High. Friday night beginning at 6:45 on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM and online at KSVPTV.com. Southeastern New Mexico's sports authority, then, now, and always.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The first toilet being flushed in a motion picture was in the movie Psycho. Mike thought it was Gone with the Wind. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 20 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from Tobosa Developmental Services, we have Michelle Pruitt, Nicole Dean, and Kurt Harrison as well. Good morning, guys. How are y'all doing today?
Good morning.
Welcome. First, Nicole's been here a while, but for you two, welcome to the show.
Thank
Good
you.
morning. How you doing? And of course, now, you guys have, because you're both kind of up there you're the director now, right?
I'm director of children's services.
The director of children's services. And Kurt, what's your title?
I'm the CEO.
CEO. That's kind of a big one. That one I heard. A CEO. So,
Yeah.
so the buck sort of stops with Kurt. Good deal. So, and of course, Nicole, you've been on, I don't know, too many times.
Too many times.
So. But for folks not familiar, Los Pasitos and the whole Tobosa Developmental Services it's actually an organization that has multiple fronts and facets. Probably the first thing people know Tobosa for is helping people with developmental services, job coaching, housing, life skills, helping folks navigate and navigate life that have developmental issues, things like that. That's one facet. The other facet is the Los Pasitos side, which is children's services. If you have a child 3 and under, you wanna keep Los Pasitos handy because they're the ones that help families deal with some of those early diagnoses and stuff that they're finding now at that level as opposed to school age. Things like dyslexia, being on the spectrum, hearing or vision issues, things like that. These are the types of things that Los Pasitos helps families free of charge, by the way. All those doctor services and everything they do free of charge. And then the third side is kind of the child care. If you need daycare services or child care services that go above and beyond to just having an adult in a room with your kids, then there's the child care side of things. So, and I think that pretty much covers the gamut of Tobosa, right? Or did I miss some?
We also have a home visiting program, so that's prenatal till 5-year-olds.
Okay.
So we help with kind of a prevention aspect of that as well with parenting, and so they work with a little bit wider range, and then we also have a child-parent psychotherapy program that's at birth to 5 years old as well.
Okay. So predominantly, if you have issues with your up to and 3 and 5 in some cases here, Los Pasitos, Tobosa, they're going to have resources and availability for you here on that too. So that being said, it's a great organization. By the way, always looking for more members to volunteer and serve and work and do a part of that. But one of the things we definitely want to put on people's radar is the annual Tobosa's 5th annual event. It's called their Stepping Out for Children event. And if you're looking for a place to have fun, games, rides, but games and food and carnival-like atmosphere, by the way, you can also learn about not only all of Tobosa's services and things, but they'll invite other nonprofits that kind of fit the parameters of kind of what like Tobosa does, or things that are adjacent to what families need that are similar to that need Tobosa services probably would also benefit from some of these other
supporting
organizations.
Agencies.
Yeah, exactly. So you come out and you let the kids and dad or whoever's the immature one run around and play the games and eat food, while the mature one in the family can go and learn some of these some services and learn more about some of this kind of stuff. So that's what the event's about, pretty much. Good deal. So what's plotting and planning for this year's event here?
Well, we've got probably between 16 and 20 vendors
coming. Okay.
And again, they're all supporting agencies that help support us.
Good deal. So, and of course, if you don't know, it's usually right there on the Chavez County Courthouse lawn. It'll be, so this particular event will be October 14th, which is this Saturday, just a couple days away. It'll be right here on the Chavez County Courthouse lawn. So when you come out, now this will be 1 to 4.
Yes.
So it'll be, so if it's in the morning, I think, are they doing one more farmer's market?
Yeah,
or
they are.
So there'll be one more farmer's market this Saturday morning. So get there early and get produce and everything. But about noon, 11, that's all going to shift over to the Los Pasitos stuff here. So, but that'll get underway from 1 to 4. So you can get there early and get some produce, and then hang around for the fun and everything else afterwards here. So, good deal. But yeah, you're going to see a lot of booths, a lot of different things, food. If you leave hungry, that's kind of your own fault.
We're going to have quite a few food trucks going to be out there, and then we also are having giveaways. We're not selling tickets this year. We're just giving them away. So you have to be present to win for those. So just be in the right place at the right time for some of this stuff, you know? Exactly.
Step on out. But kind of, for just kind of explain for the folks that are looking for some of the service and stuff, talk about some of the information at some of the different booths and things that you guys will be having there. Like what kind of stuff can they enroll kids and that kind of thing on some of these things, or is it just really informational at the event?
It's really just more informational that we're going to have. We will have referrals there for our agency.
Okay.
And I'm sure other agencies will also have referrals. CYFD will be out there. We partner with them a lot with a lot of our kiddos.
I would imagine you probably work hand in hand with many families with them and other organizations
Absolutely.
similar to that.
CASA's another huge one that will be out there as well. So just different churches will have bikes out there that kids can sit on motorcycles if they want to.
Nice.
You know, just a whole wide variety of things.
It's just a fun family carnival-like event for a Saturday afternoon. You come out, and and even if you're not looking for service and stuff, you just want to have a fun family event to spend the afternoon with your kids and family. Come bring them out, play the games, eat the food, have fun, experience all the fun stuff. And who knows, you might come across a booth that you find out, wow, that's something we really could benefit with. Or maybe find a nonprofit organization there that you really like and support and want to volunteer or want to do, or you need their services. The other way that, come for the fun and you might accidentally learn something. That's kind of what we're hoping here. You stumble into some education. Now, as far as any, that doesn't cost anything, but like if they're wanting, like you said, it's more informational. Is there documents or things that are useful to you guys that sometimes if they had handy when they're going through this, like if they have questions and stuff, like if there's medical records or like is there anything that would be useful to you guys at the event that maybe parents could bring along with them if they wanted to do more of the, not the fun stuff, but more of the, I need to get my kid taken care of kind of stuff?
Honestly, if they have their name and their phone number, we can get a hold of them and get all that information.
The rest we can figure out there. So you don't need to bring shock records or medical records or any type of history or anything for your children. That we can do at the office.
Yeah, exactly. All that boring stuff later.
That way you might get like soda on your papers or something, or get all sticky or something, funnel cake. You don't want that to happen.
No.
So. And by the way, I'm going to put the rule on this one too. So, and my rule is whenever you go to the fair to eat fair food, if you eat the fair food at the fair, the calories don't count. But the moment you take the fair food off the fair to eat it, the calories double. Right. So we're going to put that umbrella on this event Saturday. If you eat the foods there at the event, no calories. But the moment you walk out of the courthouse lawn and start going to your car eating it, double. That's what's going to happen. So
I like that rule.
So feel free to eat all the funnel cake, all the things that you keep telling people, I'm supposed to do. Indulge. On this Saturday, you can indulge. So come have some fun with that too. Good deal. As far as if they're not available for this event on Saturday, they can't come out, but they're listening, they're thinking, hey, I need to set up a point. What's the best way for a family to say for Los Pasitos if they want to do some of the screenings or anything to see if their children qualify for some of that? How does that process? What do you recommend families do to get that process started?
Honestly, they can just call in self-referral. So our number is 575-623-0849.
She nailed it. I got the cheat sheet.
Thank you. Yeah. It's one of the ones I have memorized. That and my own.
That's right. I barely got that one.
Yeah. But they can just call, honestly, and make a referral over the phone. We can take that down.
And it's that simple.
It's that simple.
Okay.
They just give us their child's name, their date of birth, their name, their address, phone number.
Okay.
And just the area that they're concerned about. Hey, my kid's 18 months old and they're not quite walking yet.
Sure.
Just that, and then we have a process where we take that referral, give it to one of our intake and evaluation coordinators, and them along with the family service coordinator call the parent. They set up a meeting to do all that paperwork, where they get their doctor's offices, like medical releases, that we can see if there's anything medical going on, any other type of underlying issues as well. Then they set up a completely free evaluation. That's with two of our service providers that we can do evaluations at our office, at the home.
Whatever's convenient for the family, basically.
Whatever's convenient for the family. And we do that, and then based off of those results, then we schedule an individualized family service plan, similar to like an IEP in the school districts.
Great.
And then we just come up with a plan of action.
To
just go from there.
To get them where they, and again, all this done free of charge for the family. That no out-of-pocket money for the family. This is all what Tobosa does here for this kind of stuff. So I don't care who you are. If you have a child that's under 3, check it out. And that's just it. In science and medical tech, like when we were kids, you you didn't see glasses being put on children until they entered school, and now you see these little cute blue glasses for infants. Just about.
Oh, they're
They've always been
adorable.
blue, the ones I've seen. I know they come in other colors, but I think there's pink ones for girls and blue ones for boys and all that. But you're literally seeing babies now wear glasses and things, and it's because of this kind of stuff you're seeing at Los Pasitos. They're able to diagnose and find these paths to these learning disabilities at that young of an age, and because they can do it that age, they can start the path to train them to overcome whatever it is, or whatever medically needs to be done to reverse it. It depends on obviously what it is and how, like dyslexia, things like that. More of that's like training them how to learn and deal with dyslexia and stuff. But when they're learning it at 1 as opposed to 8, it makes a big difference on that kind of stuff. So this is why if you have a child, even if you have a modicum hint of like they're behind socially or something,
even if you just want to know, even if you don't think that they're behind, you want to know where they're at in each area of development.
Absolutely. And by all means, talk to your primary care doctor. They'd be happy. They recommend all the time. Your pediatricians and primary care family physicians are always recommending. You should send your child over to Los Pasitos. Let's get a referral and let's get the ball rolling on that, because at the end of the day, your primary doctor's a jack of all trades. The Los Pasitos people, this is what they do all day, every day. They do nothing but help children at this age with these kind of things. Your doctor, he's got to do that and then set the bone, or fix the flu and do all the other things that a doctor does. So you're getting people that do nothing but this kind of thing working on your kids. So please reach out to them on that too. And then conversely, if you want to learn more about maybe your family's new to the area and you have members with special needs that need resources for life skills, job training, come out to this event too and ask. There'll be someone there that can help you with all of that. And and I know I will tell you this, this group of people did yeoman's work during COVID when COVID hit this town, and all of your job had to keep going, even though everything you do goes against the things that COVID was kind of talking about but at the same time, you can't do what you guys do unless you're there, interacting, talking, hugging, that's the job. And you guys kept doing that. I mean, you had staff isolating themselves at these homes with these families, ignoring their own families so they could take care of these other families during this time. And that's the kind of people you're going to meet when you come out to the Stepping Out event, is people that are nothing but dedicated to families and stuff like that. So come have fun. And, we're talking about all the serious stuff, but on Saturday, all you got to do is come out and eat some corn dogs or popcorn and play some games. And it's going to be a high of 75 tomorrow on Saturday. So
perfect weather.
Come on. That's a beautiful day to be hanging out in the courthouse on. Even when you're done eating, go find a tree or something to lean up against and let that all settle while the kids are running around. I mean,
the free calories.
If you let them digest there, you get lose weight. I think.
Yeah, it's reverse. It reverses itself. Yeah.
Absolutely here, but definitely. And of course, if you have any questions about anything, you can always call 575-623-0849. Tobosa.org is Tobosa Developmental Services website. If you've bookmarked the old one, you're going to need to change it because if you go to the old one, you're not going to get the latest information and things there. But Tobosa.org, you can always Google search it too if you want. Tobosa Developmental Services has also Facebook and all that. So if you're a Facebook user, shoot a message. I think there's a Los Pasitos one and a Tobosa.
Tobosa, and we have a Little Steps.
The Little Steps Daycare Center too, which if you want to learn more about fees and the program and all involved there, come on out to the event on Saturday. There'll be people to tell you about Little Steps too, and I bet you can even see some of that in action and see some of the activities and things that they do during the day and all that kind of stuff, so you really understand, why Little Steps is different than just a typical daycare center kind of thing. It's actually doing things while your kids are, you know what I mean? You're actually starting that path to learning and all that stuff. They don't realize it. They just think they're playing fun and games and goofing off, but they're learning stuff. But that's what Little Steps does. You can learn all that too. But please go to Tobosa.org. You can sit down and read all of the things we're talking about and probably some things I forgot to talk about too there. And then just make a plan to come on out this Saturday, 1 to 4 p.m., right here downtown at the Chaves County Courthouse lawn. It's completely free. All you gotta bring is yourselves and your money to get a burger at the food truck or some cotton candy or whatever you're into, and just come out and could win some free stuff. Going to be entertainment. There's going to be live drawings that you kind of just have to be in the right place at the right time for. So just kind of meander and linger around. You never know. You might be one of the ones that pops in and wins one of these great prizes or anything too. And then of course, if you have questions, if you're there to work and want information, that's also there too. If you're like, I don't want to eat games and stuff, I want to get my kids set up, we'll make sure that gets happened too. That's all. And then please, if you're now, let me ask: is there room for more nonprofits if they just found out about it, or are we pretty full at the courthouse lawn?
No, absolutely.
Okay.
Take more.
So if any other nonprofit groups that are listening and they're saying, you know what, we'd probably be pretty good to have a thing to talk about our organization out there. Please reach out, especially if you work with youth. If you have an organization that works a lot with youth, I bet you're going to find a lot of people that can that probably into what you're into on that. So reach out, call this number and call the same number here, and of course Michelle will probably be the one.
Nicole would be the go-to for that.
You'll get Nicole on that one. Okay.
Yeah.
If you get Kurt, just say, "Excuse me, Mr. CEO, can I talk to Nicole?" But call 575-623-0849 and get, or go to tobosa.org. You'll find that number there if you can't remember the name, that information too, or one of the Facebook pages. They'll shoot out there too. Good deal. Is there anything we wanted to share? Anything we wanted to cover that I spaced over, or just got to talk about nachos or something instead? Does happen from time to time. But
I think we're good, Mike.
Good deal. Well, come on out. If you have any questions about anything we talked about, the event on Saturday, or just want to learn more about the services and opportunities through Tobosa Developmental Services or Los Pasitos or Little Steps or any of the umbrella that is Tobosa Developmental Services, 575-623-0849. Go to tobosa.org or go look for Tobosa Developmental Services or Los Pasitos, Pasitos, LOS space, if you need to look that up too. So either way, good deal. Well, thank you guys.
Thank you.
We'll see y'all next time. And,
all right.
Even if we don't have an event coming up, we just want to say, hey, this is what we do. Reach out to us, or maybe we've got some families that want to share their success. That would be a good. I know we get to deal with privacy and all that, but if there's a family out there that want to sing the praises and say, look, my child had some issues, and now my child is not only above average, normal, but is above average and thriving in school, and this was why. That's we'd love to, because those are the best stories in the world when you see. And I imagine for you guys, this is why you do it every day. The days you're working long hours, you're gonna be sitting out here Saturday, 4:00, sweating and hot, and you're like, oh, I'm tired. But the day that the light bulb moment happens, where that kid it just all makes sense all of a sudden. That's the win, and that's when you're sitting out here sweating, it's worth it when that happens.
Absolutely.
Be good. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, it is 9:40. Let's pause for local news and weather and a quick break. Wall Street business update there too. I haven't looked at numbers today, so it could be good, could be bad, who knows. But we'll play them. Here we go. Don't go away.
Now for your Pecos Valley News Update, I'm Jared Cirillo. The Roswell Police Department is asking for some help. They are investigating incidences of someone offering handyman or small construction services, taking money to perform a specified project, and then never showing up to do the job, cutting off contact with the person who paid for the work. RPD is asking for contact from anyone who has hired someone identifying themselves as a handyman or contractor to do repairs, construction, or other similar work, and the individual requested the money up front and then did not return to do the work. You can call the Roswell Police Department at 624-6770. The New Mexico Taxation and Revenue Department says some residents are getting fake letters claiming there's been a warrant issued over unpaid property taxes. TRD says they do not issue such warrants to collect taxes. The letters are going to individuals with outstanding property tax debts. The letters claim to offer help in resolving the debt if the individual receiving the letter calls a phone number. TRD says individuals with unresolved property tax debt should work with their county treasurer's office. If the debt's been turned over to the state, you can call 505-827-0083. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
Your morning cup of Sean. This is the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
It's not a war. One of the generals who's the head of the IDF Depth Command telling reporters it's not a battlefield. Take a look with your own eyes. Babies, mothers, fathers in their bedrooms, in their protection rooms, and how the terrorists kill them. This is not a war. This is a massacre. It's something I never saw in my life. It's something I used to imagine my grandmother and grandfather in Europe and other places had to deal with. A reporter from local I-24 News said the IDF commander told her that they had found the bodies of some 40 babies, some of whom had been beheaded. Does it get any more graphic than that?
The conservative underground meets later today on the Sean Hannity Show.
You worked so hard to build up your retirement savings. Well, now Phoenix Capital Group wants to help fuel your growth, and you can invest in their corporate bonds through your 401k or your IRA or both and start earning tax-deferred annual returns, right now ranging from 9 to 13%. Multiple options with different rates and terms to choose from. Now, Phoenix Capital Group specializes in connecting informed investors with opportunities in tangible oil and gas assets. And by investing in high-yield corporate bonds, you have the potential to earn annual interest rates ranging from 9 to 13%. Additionally, this investment is not only financially beneficial, but also a vote of confidence. And that is that confidence in the future of America's energy sector. Now, learn more. Just sign up at Phoenix Capital Group. Take their free investor webinar today. It's at phoenixonhannity.com. Now, before making any investment decision, you must always carefully consider and review any and all risk involved. Check them out. Sign up for the free webinar, phoenixonhannity.com. That's phoenixonhannity.com.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Pretty warm over the next few days, but we'll be cooling off quite a bit by Friday. Near 90 for the afternoon high today. Wind will be gusty, and we get lots of sunshine. Low 60s for the overnight hours and clear, and then we're in the upper 80s for the high on Thursday. High pressure will stay put. It will be a little bit windy, and we'll have plenty of sunshine. Dry cold front moves in on Thursday night, sunny and mid-70s Friday. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. Wholesale prices surged 2.2% last month compared to a year ago, the sharpest increase in 5 months, suggesting that inflation remains a problem despite a year and a half of interest rate hikes by the Federal Reserve. ExxonMobil is buying Pioneer Natural Resources, an all-stock deal valued at $59.5 billion, making it one of the oil giant's biggest transactions ever. The transaction's value, including debt, is roughly $64.5 billion. Germany's government says it expects the country's economy to shrink by 0.4% this year. The German government joining a string of other forecasters in revising sharply downward its outlook for Europe's biggest economy. The revised forecast compares to a 0.4% growth rate the government predicted in late April. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
You've heard of a Four Seasons room, but have you heard of a Four Seasons window? Jennifer here from Trustmark Roofing and Windows. It might surprise you to learn many windows are built to handle only the cold or only the heat, but not both. In Southeast New Mexico, one or the other doesn't cut it. That's why Trustmark windows are built to handle our Four Seasons climate. The scorching summers, the bone-chilling winters, and everything in between. Special glass coating blocks extreme UV rays. A stout frame prevents warping from the extreme weather changes. And insulated glass is like putting your home in a giant styrofoam cooler in the winter and keeps cold out and warmth in. And in the summer, it keeps heat out and cool in. For our Four Seasons weather, get Four Seasons windows. Call today for your no-obligation spring window assessment, 575-755-7663, or visit TrustmarkRoofPros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Attention Roswell and surrounding areas. The time to trade up is now at Roswell Ford. Because now through the end of the month, Roswell Ford will take any trade, any condition, even if you owe thousands more than your car's value. And with a lot full of amazing deals, you can trade up and save big. Get 0 down, no payments for 90 days, and 0% on select new Ford models. With a job bringing home just $3.99 a week, Roswell Ford's aggressive lenders will push to approve your credit, even with bad credit or no credit. Check out a special edition Ford F-150 Raptor R, a 75th anniversary crew cab 4x4, a 2023 Ford Raptor Bronco, 2023 Ford F-150 Platinum Edition, and the new 2023 Ford F-150 Trimmer. Now is the time to trade up. Head for Roswell Ford, the home of Tailgate Nation at the corner of 9th and Main in Roswell. Get your summer grilling on with delicious homegrown beef from Runyon Cattle Beef. Get top choice grade A meat in whole, halves, or quarters delivered to your home freezer and experience the difference between store-bought and 100% locally grown Runyon Cattle Beef. Need seasoning? No problem. Runyon Cattle Beef's very own red meat seasoning and cactus salt are included with all beef orders. For pricing, orders, or more information, call Lisa Runyon at 575-760-5655 today.
Of all the flowers in the world, pansies get a bad rap. Hi, this is Jim Gill with Roswell Seed Company. The name pansies sound delicate and weak, but in reality, pansies are bold and beautiful. When the frost has killed all the other flowers, pansies start blooming and they'll bloom all winter long, which is why you should come see us at Roswell Seed. We have a greenhouse full of colorful pansies ready to brighten up the coldest winter day. So come get your pansies, and remember, if someone calls you a pansy, take it as a compliment.
Hey, this is Jennifer from Trustmark Roofing. Every storm chaser's worst nightmare. You know storm chasers, those out-of-town roofers that descend on neighborhoods after big storms. They come in, do a crummy job, then poof, they're gone forever. Well, a few years ago, our area had a hailstorm, and right on cue, storm chasers showed up. I was driving home from work one evening and saw one talking to an elderly lady on her porch. I said, "Not today, buddy." I did a U-turn, pulled in the driveway, and walked right up to them. I warned the woman who they were talking to, and I chased away the storm chaser. The woman's daughter called me later and said a storm chaser ripped them off a few years ago. She thanked me for stopping this one and chose Trustmark for her roof. Trustmark Roofing. Every storm chaser's nightmare. Every homeowner's champion. Call today for your 20% off coupon for our spring and roof gutter maintenance service. 575-755-ROOF. Or visit TrustmarkRoofPros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Do you struggle with acne, eczema, or worry about skin cancer? Research suggests that 1 in 5 Americans will develop skin cancer by the age of 70, but when detected early, 99% of skin cancer cases are curable. At Epiphany Dermatology of Roswell, we place special emphasis on prevention, screening, and treatment, so schedule your annual skin exam by calling us at 575-208-7050 or by visiting our website at epiphanydermatology.com and get checked today. Prevention is key.
ENMU Open House Preview Day for high school students is Saturday, October 28th on campus in Portales. High school students and their parents can get information about admission and scholarships, find out about potential majors, get a specialized campus tour, and have a chance to win great prizes, including a $500 scholarship. Come visit campus and learn about our safe, family-friendly college environment. Sign up today at enmu.edu/open house. Eastern New Mexico University. Student success. That's what we're about.
Let's face it, guys. We're living in times where the truth is becoming more suppressed and censorship is increasing at an alarming rate, especially on social media platforms. It's Clyde, and I want to tell you about a safe and secure digital playground we put together just for you. It's aftermath.media. You get access to thousands of Ground Zero archives and podcasts, along with our private social media groups with your basic membership starting at only $7 a month. Each subscription includes tech support, access to the RSS feeds, along with our own chat room and Telegram channel. In addition, the premium membership includes research study groups, webinars, a document and movie library, a live video stream of Ground Zero, a monthly Zoom chat with me, and other bonus content. Be sure to check out our yearly specials as well. Sign up today while you're thinking about it. Sign up at aftermath.media. Again, that's aftermath.media.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Elephants use these skin folds on their bodies to crush mosquitoes. Mike Winters uses his to hide M&Ms. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 9:50. Got a few minutes here before we wrap up the show. Hey, I do want to put on your radar. A couple of different events we got coming on here. Of course, we got the Halloween season, trunk or treat, all that's kind of going to be fast and furious here. But coming up on October 28th and 29th, Grace Community Church is going to have their Family Fest. And it'll be both days, that 28th and 29th, Saturday and Sunday. They're going to have fun for the whole family, games, food, carnival stuff, all kinds of, candy, because it is, Halloween season. So, and that'll be going on October 28th and 29th. You can go to roswellfamilyfest.com or Grace Community Church and find out more information, or if you have questions about the event. But that's October 28th and 29th at Grace Community Church, their annual Family Fest event. Also, if you are a flute player, we have in town, if you're not familiar, just interviewed them about a week or so ago, the Roswell Flute Ensemble. And I think a lot of people may have seen them at like the Roswell Christmas Railway over the years. That's one of the places I always seem to run into them doing their flute ensemble concerts and things. They do, they're really good. But they are always looking for more flautists to be a part of it. If you are an experienced flute player, maybe played in high school or college, or maybe you just play, they're always looking for more flute players. I think they've got 3 right now that are part of the organization, and they're looking for a few more to be a part. And also, if you're an organization and you're looking for a little beautiful music to set the tone and that kind of thing, the folks at the Roswell Flute Ensemble are available to set the tone for your occasion and all that. If you have any questions, you want to be involved with the Roswell Flute Ensemble, or if you would like to book them for an event that you'd like to have, reach out to Ricardo Valenzuela. You can reach him at 575-914-1379. Again, that's 575-914-1375. Or you can shoot him an email, ricardoavalenzuela@yahoo.com. ricardoavalenzuela@yahoo.com, or call them 575-914-1379. If you miss all of that, call the radio station. I'll get you in touch, or get you the information to get you in touch with the folks from the Flute Ensemble, because it's a really cool organization. They got a lot of it's really small. It's just the 3 of them, but they're always looking for more folks to get involved, and I think folks will especially I know there's some flute players here that are looking for other people to play with and all that. This is your chance. Reach out to them. Hey, don't forget, next Saturday, not this Saturday, but next Saturday is the city's Keep Roswell Beautiful's Park Community Cleanup event. And what they're doing is a designated Saturday, October 21st, as a cleanup day. And they invite the community to come to Carpenter Park between 8:30 and 10:30 a.m. on Saturday, the 21st. That's at 300 East Buena Vista, Carpenter Park. They're kind of not far from the county admin building and all. It's right in that area there. But anyway, go there, and they will provide with cleanup supplies, free meal coupons for the first 50 volunteers, and by the cleanup supplies, the bags, gloves, little pickers, grabbers, all that stuff. And then they invite you to go and pick a designated area to clean up in the city. Maybe it's your neighborhood. Maybe if you want to have a neighborhood watch, or just a group of neighbors that want to get involved. We'll gather your group, bring them to Carpenter Park between 8:30 and 10:30 on Saturday, October 21st. Let them and just let them know, hey, we're going to be cleaning up our neighborhood and our area. Let them know the area you're going to clean. They'll give you the bags, the gloves, everything you need to do that, and then turn you loose to go clean up your area. So, and if you're wanting to get involved and clean up, but maybe you're, what's a good spot? Where do you need it? Where do you need it? I'll go where you need it. Talk to Kat. I think it'll be Kathy or one of the other members there. Ask them, say, hey, I'm here. I want to clean up. Give me the gloves and stuff. And where's a good area? Do you have an area you recommend I go do it? They'll be happy to tell you all that stuff. If you have any questions, you can go to also tinyurl.com/keep Roswell beautiful to go there. If you go to the city's page, you can shoot a message to there, and they'll get you the information if you need to get all that. But But this is all happening on Saturday, October 21st, encouraging people to do their park community cleanups. Go use this as an opportunity to clean up your own neighborhoods or your parks near you, where your family recreates and all that stuff. Get involved and help out and do all that. It's a good thing. So, but that's the 21st. So kind of mark that on your calendars as well. Coming up here pretty quick as well, the fine folks at the Roswell Refuge, they're doing their annual event. October, if you're not aware, is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And so each year, the Roswell Refuge, during the month of October, hosts a candlelight vigil event. This year, it's going to be on October 19th, and it's going to be from 5:30 to 7 p.m., and it's going to be at the Anderson Museum of Contemporary Art, which is on College 409 East College, if you're not familiar. It's a night of all the emotions. You're going to be laughing, you're going to be crying, you're going to be angry, you're going to be happy. It's really a roller coaster of emotions, because what they do at the event is join survivors. They're going to have survivors there. We celebrate them. We remember the victims and the families that we've lost. And so there's usually a slideshow with that. And so, it's a somber moment, but it really is to raise awareness for domestic violence, get domestic violence out of the shadows, out of the dark, and bring it into the light where we can expose it and get rid of it. And that's what this event's about. So it's really to honor those that have lost their lives, celebrate those that have survived and are won, and help those that are still going through it, and reminding folks and really raising awareness and reminding people that if you see something, do something about it. That's the thing with domestic violence. If we're out in public and you go into stores and you see things that just don't look right, you see something going on, don't do nothing about it. Don't just sit idly by and let that happen. Talk to someone. Talk to the manager. Talk to law enforcement. You don't have to get in there and break it up. Please don't. That's not your job, and quite frankly, could end up getting yourself hurt. So don't do that. But please raise the alarms, raise the flags. If something is not right, then the people that the alarms you raise to will do something about it. If police officers get involved, they'll determine, and they'll do their investigation. If nothing's going on, it's a mistake. Guess what? That's what'll come out, and no harm, no foul, no big deal. But if more than likely what your instincts are telling you are right, you may have just saved a life that day. That's all I'm saying. So please do not ignore that stuff, and we'd love to invite everyone to come on out. If you have any questions about the Candlelight Vigil, you can call the main office number for the Roswell Refuge. Don't call the crisis hotline, but call the main number, which is 575-624-3222. Again, that's 624-3222. Now, if you are experiencing domestic violence or you suspect it's going on but don't know what to do, don't forget there is a 24/7 crisis hotline number. Day, night, 2 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, does not matter. Call this number. Someone will answer. 575-627-8361. 575-627-8361. That is the 24/7 crisis hotline. You're in control of that conversation. If you just want an ear to bend, or if you're ready to break away, whatever that is, that number will help you. All right. It is closing on 10 o'clock. We have to go. Thank you so much for allowing this show to be a part of your day. Very thankful for you, all of you. Much appreciated. Have a wonderful day. We'll be back bright and early, 7 a.m. tomorrow.
No static at all. Your new home.